Yeah,
let's see here.
We're almost there. We're almost through the first of 25 segments.
Oh, Jesus. Here, let me go sit on the can.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we're gonna get like
good audio,
a better shot at it in here.
And now it looks like a hostage video.
Before they cut off your head, what's the hat?
This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Throw Gang, we are joined by the Abercrombie Alpha, the Fitch Boss Bitch, the Ohio Overlord, the Pasha of Prep, Pharaoh of the Flyover, the Prince of Positivity, Sultan of the Swing State, the Reboot Ringleader, the Maestro of the Moose, Mogul of the Mall. He puts the A&F and don't give a fuck, the SVP of Men's and Women's Design at Abercrombie and Fitch, Aaron Levine.
What's up, dog?
Wow.
I got that from your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like you guys put the effort in, man, and it just makes me feel like loved.
We had to get that approved by corporate.
Yeah, we literally have nothing to do all day. So like Lawrence went and like saw a suit, and I just like took 2 naps a day.
What do you mean see a suit? Like I'm going to the zoo, I just looked at a suit?
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it because I also saw like a follow from you, James, about an hour and a half ago. So I know that's when you started.
Do my research.
Wow. Yeah, right. That's about the extent of the prep is throwing you a fucking bone so you feel good about yourself.
Don't worry. Depending on how this goes, there might be an unfollow about an hour and a half from now.
Yeah, or just mid-pod.
It's already there. It's already gone. I'm like, I was looking for you right now, and then you're gone.
Followed back?
Yeah. Speaking of doing research in our due diligence as retired professional podcasters, I might add. Aaron, you did your research. You watched Chuck's live, which is cool. I don't know how familiar you are with the flagship product, which is the only podcast that matters. But the first segment that we are going to do is a fit check where you are going to walk the audience at home through the totality of the outfit you're currently wearing. And the choice for you, sir, is to either start top down or bottom up. The choice is yours.
I mean, am I a narc or what?
He's done his research.
Wow.
How do we do
his Oppo research, baby.
Bottoms up.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, respect, right? You got to show respect. Do your research.
Respect the sanctity of the art form,
All right. Bottoms up. Bottoms up.
What do you got on the feet?
Bottoms up.
We got the TT specials, the Blundstone 990s.
Wow, these are this is the evolution of your 500 and your 505 boys. This is like the real
550s.
It's the real deal. It's the evolution of the product Chelsea boot, right?
Okay.
Which I scooped, and then I'm like, I immediately regret it because like they're fashion boots and they're uncomfortable and they hurt your feet.
They're so uncomfortable.
They destroy
they're
your
so
your
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I reached out to like Gian before I pulled the trigger on him, and I'm like, Gian, you wear these things? And he's like, yeah, man. Are they legit? And he's like, yeah, dude, so comfortable. And I buy them. I spend like X amount of dollars on them, and I get them, and I'm amped. And then I'm like, these are, they're terrible.
They're arguably unwearable. I've worn mine maybe 5 times.
Yeah, once.
But
twice.
Gian is someone who would suffer for fashion, suffer for
fashion
for style.
victim.
So like, yeah,
I believe is the let's not fashion victim shame or blame.
Right. No. This is a zone of positivity. I'm emanating like only love vibes right now. Like there's only love. Only love.
Right.
Only
how much are those like Blundstones? Those are like steel-toed diesel Blundstones, right? How much does that run?
I don't know. They are the steel-toed version, man, and like I think they're a little shy of a couple $100.
Okay,
so you're playing in like the 195 range, which
not
is
bad.
Like fair game, right? Like you got people playing in that range.
And
one third of a Prada.
You're on the road right now. Are these your traveling boots?
Dude, these are like my fishing boots. These are my yard boots. They're my traveling boots. They're like the go-tos. Everything is everything I wear right now is all of that.
Yeah, you're a dad that, from what I understand, loves a chore. You do chores.
Oh, a little bit. You know, if it makes me look good.
Yeah, sure.
If there's a camera around.
Right.
Yeah. I try to like pull my weight. You know what I'm saying?
You're a team player.
Pull my weight. I'm trying to like move around a little bit because like my stuff is like shady here. So
okay. Moving on up from the Blunnies.
And then I gotta give a shout out to to my boy Randy Goldberg, man, because my feet are always inside the Bombas. Always.
Yo, shout out Randy. Yo, we need Bombas to sponsor the fucking pod. I know Randy's got fucking big bread. Yo, bang my line, Randy. I know you're going to listen to this shit.
They get a lot of free love on this pod.
Yeah.
I know that he is like one of the best dudes on the planet, and he makes a mean hiking sock. And like, that's what I got, the little crop tops, like the little quarter boys under the ear.
Okay.
If they want to sponsor, if they or any sock brand out there wants to become the official sock of the post sneaker world, that title has been relinquished.
Yeah.
So it's wide open.
We had someone park that real estate, and yo, shout out NA. That's family, bro. That's Nick. Yo, that's family. But as it stands right now, we are easily bought, really, is what we're trying to say. So, you know, who cares? Coke or Pepsi, like Chappelle said, whatever tastes better is who paid me most recently. You know, that's
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, like he's got a heart of gold, and like he started a company with like a great ethos, and like my feet will only be inside his socks.
Mouth. Socks.
Yeah. How good of a friend is he really?
Dropping feet pics in the Zoom.
We're biblically intimate.
Right. And then moving on up to the pants, what's the trowel situation?
So nothing exciting, man. Like everything now is like old eBay, like generic. Actually, these are from my friend Adriana Davis, who has a site on Insta called FBBTG, I think. Okay. She sells like great old Patagonia stuff, and like she's the coolest, man. Like I'll buy like old Patagonia stuff of her, and then she threw these in, and they're just like they're sweetest, perfect. Most comfortable. She knows like that my waist is like 17 and a quarter inches, like on the flat, and she just like sent them to me, and they're like my favorite shorts. And like she'll send me like avocados from her tree in her backyard and like lemons.
That's customer service.
In like a USPS box, like jam full of like avocados and lemons from her tree, and I'm like, that's a relationship right there.
Send a letter, support the USPS, send a letter or some avocados to your homie.
Yeah.
And some lemons.
And Aaron, I just want to get your professional opinion on this, because like you mentioned eBay, but then you shouted out your favorite Instagram vintage seller. Is the world moving away from like digging digitally into the crates to just like following the best people on IG who can do it for you? Because quite frankly, I prefer to have my shit curated before I even fucking dip my toe in the pool. But I don't know if you feel the same way.
Some of these people are like more well known, maybe, and then some of them are like maybe less well known. And she's just awesome, man. And she's super cool. She's like super personal, and we'll have like conversations. And it's like knowing your dealer, and it's like I don't know how safe that is. You know, it's like probably
she doesn't want to. It's not like the dealer that like wants to smoke with you. Like she doesn't want to like wear the same fits as you, right?
No. But then you're like, oh yeah, you know, we're like friends now, right? So I can get a discount. And she's like, yeah.
You wish. I could never do this. I would just be getting high on my own supply, wearing all my own Johns, and fucking selling nothing, bro.
I know. So like, all right, if you look at like my favorite vintage, it's like, you know, Gautier. Do you guys know Gautier yet? You should get him on the horn. He's the man. Him and his dude Mark, they do this magazine in Paris called L'Etiquette, and they're the shit. He's probably got some of the best taste in the world, man. And like I met him through my other favorite vintage guy, this guy Dougie Gunn, who has a vintage showroom in London. And,
that's a cool name. He sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, dude, Doug Gunn,
a British gangster.
Yeah,
he's the man. He is the man.
He's in a Guy Ritchie flick.
Shout out Dougie,
like
sick shot.
Fan of like old Chicago house, Frankie Knuckles stuff.
So you just have a global network of vintage dealers,
of like plugs of like that feed the trash habits. Yeah,
right. The international plug network is strong and firing on all cylinders, which you love to see. Is that a vintage tee too? Working our way up. Is it all vintage? The whole fit?
Yeah, dude, it is. It's like an old Faith No More t-shirt.
Jesus,
t-shirt. Wow. So, I mean, I saw this and you guys were like shitting in your hands and rubbing it in your fucking face, you know? That's not fair to do to y'all. I apologize.
No, you're right. I was 17.
Damn.
Developing a scat fetish. What can I say?
Yeah. The things we do for love. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah. So I saw them in 1992, like open for like Guns N' Roses and Metallica on that show. So, like, but I didn't buy this then.
Did you go for Faith No More, or did you go for Metallica and GNR?
I went for Guns. For Guns. You know, got blessed with Metallica, and then like got double upped with Faith No More. It was just great. I was like 15 or something, and
15. So you got your dick blown clear off. Yeah, gone out the window, bro. Did you go with your parents or what was the deal?
No.
Dick in a new zip code.
Yeah.
I went with my friend, this dude, John Miller. We were 15, man. We had like general admission, tickets. And like, I remember it was like, hair metal, like 1992, it was like hair metal time, right? It was like I remember like.
It was the end, right? Because Nirvana was about to fucking come through, right?
Pop, right? It was like blowing up right then. But like, I remember just the way that people were dressed at this show was just like incredible, man. It would be like, did you guys ever see that that little documentary Heavy Metal Parking Lot?
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that?
Yeah, in like Nassau County. Yeah. Oh my God.
It was, yeah, exactly. It was like a Judas Priest show. It was like DC 101 Judas Priest show outside of like
the Izod Center in like 81.
Yeah, something like that. My mom brought up the flannel from home when she was visiting. It was like I used to call it, like in high school and like freshman year in college, I used to call it like my chicks dig it shirt, which like clearly they did not dig. They did not dig it. They did not dig me. But like that's what I called it.
You were lying to yourself, like many teenagers.
I was lying to myself. Yeah.
What's the brand?
The brand is the Gap, dude.
Really?
Hang on 1 second. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Hang on, I'm gonna set myself up and bring my wine into the bathroom.
Yeah, please get yourself totally situated in the bathroom.
I need to get like reset up.
Is it the Yeezy Gap? Is that the new Yeezy?
This is what inspired Yeezy Gap, right? This is patient
like,
zero.
This is
damn
like
big labels,
big tags only.
This is the old stuff, man.
And it's just held up fucking perfectly.
It's just held up, dude. And it allowed me to still wear a medium because it's like olden days medium.
Right.
Big shirts.
Vanity sizing for sure.
Big shirts.
Big shirts
Big
only.
shirts.
And then working our way up, you're wearing a baseball cap as a grown man. That's an interesting look. Let's talk about
inside.
that.
Is it sunny inside?
You have great hair. You have great hair. Why are you covering it up?
I think it's like a safety blanket kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm neutralizing my hairline purposely right now.
So I was wondering, is the headband for the hairline?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yes. The
And
answer is
also
yes.
just having not even a shitty haircut, like no haircut. So it's
dude, I get it. But I also am like, I'm loving that you're leaning into it hard. It's like,
bro, I don't give a fuck about anything.
I know.
You give a fuck about your hairline. That's why you're doing this.
Okay, sure. Okay, or you can see it that
You
way.
only give a fuck about image. That's what it is.
I'm so vain. That's really all I care about is my vanity. But that's neither. I'm not the one being interviewed here, motherfucker.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Wait, what is the message on the hat? What does that say?
That says Pine Lake, right?
Okay.
So last summer we went out to our boy David Coggins' crib in Wisconsin, in Wisco, and Michael Williams was out there, Randy was out there, our friend Rob Zangardi was out there. So I worked with Michael. We made some hats and made some sweatshirts of for the Pine Lake crew. So that's
nice.
That's super cute. That's some you guys are so 40. It's absurd.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
we make merch for our trips, man.
That's very fucking sick. And again, that is like most things on this show. That's a testament to male friendship, baby. Making merch for a trip with your boys. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I take back anything bad I ever.
Did the chicks get any?
I'm sorry. What? The what?
Did the what? Sorry, the wives, the women.
There were
just boys. It was boys only.
It was boys. It was boys.
Boys only. That's
a full media blackout. Nothing was allowed to go on social media.
Yeah. Sick. And then finally, let's give the man an opportunity for his first of what I would imagine is going to be many flexes. I see the wrist bedazzled a bit. Bouncing the beautiful bathroom light in the Kingsley Hotel, I believe his name is refracting off the face. What do we got on the wristicle today, my friend?
We just have like a little old Rolex, like a GMT, Pepsi GMT.
Very nice. Is there is the year significant? Is this a significant ref or?
No, I actually buy some watches through my friend James Landman over at Analog Shift. He's super knowledgeable and super fair. And I hit him up when I have a craving for something and we'll work together on it. And this is just a 16700. So it's transitional year, nothing fancy, super wearable.
How frequent do you have these cravings for watches?
Yeah. For rollies, for new rollies.
You know what?
Yeah.
I kind of want to bake. I kind of want a bacon, egg, and cheese, or do I want a Rolex?
Yeah.
Not that frequently.
Or maybe probably too frequently that you might have a problem on your hands.
But like we started, we're kind of getting past that at this point. What do you have on your wrist? I'm sure that there's something shiny on your.
Excuse me. I'm working right now in the podcasting factory. I don't wear jewelry.
No
jewels.
No jewelry. No hardware.
So nice
Aaron, lest we forget.
Oh yeah,
the panties.
Oh. I'm very particular, right? Like in the summer, you guys ever try the Patagonia? I'm sorry. Ain't no boxer's body.
Oh.
Ain't no boxer's body.
Wow.
No.
You were really talking about holding your breath. James is looking for 2 back-to-back wins, and it's not going to happen for
I do think boxers are the mark of like a very cool dad who's like not,
oh, maybe
rolls out of bed, scratching his fucking belly, getting a snack out of the refrigerator. Like that's a boxer vibe.
I do that.
But
then I change boxer briefs before I put on pants.
Okay.
So dude, I wear these like Patagonia, like super lightweight, wicking mesh. Like
really?
Yeah,
damn.
They're great.
Are they expensive?
So I got pinched when I was like on a snowboarding trip, and they lost my luggage.
That's why we're boxers.
So I had to wear like scoop some stuff up, and these happened to be in the store, so I grabbed them, and then I wore them for like 3 days straight, and they made it work. Like they worked for me. Like
they changed your life, arguably.
They changed my life. Damn. Like they're comfortable, not too tight,
right?
Like breathable.
So if these are your summer drawers, what are you wearing in fall or winter? Or
you know what? I like to be like unbranded with a lot of my stuff, so I'm a Uniqlo guy. And then I also like I've heard on a couple of your other shows because like I wanted to listen to them and like do my research.
Thank you.
Right?
We appreciate
you. There's like a big conversation about like baggy boys and like your running shorts with the mesh in, and people have like very distinct sides, one side or another, right?
What's your
in.
Okay?
All in. No undies. Keep them like no drawers in there.
Balls on brains.
Like, 100%. 100%.
I think this pod is in agreement. We're in agreement, I think, to some degree here.
Yeah.
All of us.
You get a lot
I'm the one disdainer in that.
From that.
Well, I think people just know what they like and then they just go with it.
Yeah.
I think that brains in has its usage, which is and probably more frequent than like blowing the brains out. Like that's not as useful.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just cop 2 pairs of everything and just blow the brains out of one.
Damn, dude.
Shit.
Double up, bro.
Are you guys double do? Like, do you guys double dip on like a lot of the stuff that you buy, or are you guys double dippers too? Because
depends on the price tag, bro. Depends. Are we talking for me? PFG, double, triple, quadruple up all day. Baggies the same. T-shirts. But for rare Japanese gorp, you can't be dropping. Be doubling up. It's impossible.
100%.
It's case by case. I feel like
I hear you, but like I get like a lot of anxiety. Like if I really like something, that I won't like find it again. So I need to buy 2.
That's fair.
I did that with sneakers because Nike was like ending them, and then they brought back this one model in like a 48-hour re-release, and I just bought but it wasn't like crazy expensive. I bought like 5 or 6 pairs. And
did you? What was that? What shoe was that?
A Nike Free Run 2 Plus triple black.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful, bro.
It's blacked out.
Yeah, it's like the Mick Jagger shoe. It's like the shoe he wears on stage, sort of. You guys know.
Yeah, I'm also terribly old and have had way too much unprotected sex.
Mick Jagger, who's that? Is that a SoundCloud rapper or something?
Who the fuck is Mick Jagger?
Is that one of the new TikTok kids? Is that who that?
I'm like, damn.
Nah, Mick Jagger.
Chuck, do you know who Mick Jagger is?
He's a guitarsman, right?
No. He's a frontsman. He's a frontsman.
Oh man.
Damn, bro.
Yo, where's Chef at? Is Chef here?
Chef
he's working.
He's working late. He's got a big.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say.
But he does send his regards. I know he's a fan. But also, I just love how Chuck literally just failed the vibe check, bro. You don't know Mick Jagger? Come on, man.
He's Rolling Stones. They make like the Vietnam songs, right?
The Scorsese song.
It's like Vietnam songs are like Goodfellas,
Yeah, right.
You guys know Goodfellas?
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's a complete fit check. That's a complete fit check.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, as a recent student of the podcast, which is like very flattering and very cool that you know like what we're going to try and like trick you with. The three main subjects, as you know, of this podcast are money,
Ka-ching.
meats and cheeks,
Yep.
and most importantly, Jimmy, Larry, ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the most important thing, which is ourselves.
The goddamn
here's the thing, right?
motherfucking boys.
Lawrence and I, it's the duality of man. It's yin and yang. Lawrence has a childhood affinity with Abercrombie and is like all in on the current iteration of the brand. I have like admittedly I never had an affiliation with the brand as a kid. And currently, like I know who you are and I like what you do and what you've done, but I'm ignorant about what's going on at Abercrombie right now beyond knowing that it's turned over a new leaf in the past few years. So I'm just curious, and this is your chance to really plug the shit out of what you're doing. How would you sell me, someone who kind of like isn't in on the brand yet, on A&F?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to do the best job that I can to plug it, like for the people that like I work with, right?
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
Because
put the team on your back, bro.
Dude, like, and they carry me on their back, man. Like more than anything, like the team that I work with is like,
yeah, it's like me in this
like,
podcast. You know,
fuck up.
Where were you lighting there? You got some incense going there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some.
What do you got?
Just some natural Shiedo, Palo Santo. Yeah. I like. I don't like.
Do you travel with your own incense
here too? Right.
Oh, that's in the hotel.
No. So this is like I bought from the boy Jay Carroll and like his wife Allison at Wonder Valley. So like shout out Jay Carroll and Allison because this stuff is the shit.
Oh yeah.
Their oud incense. Woo.
Nice. I like natural. I don't like it when there's the wood, even though that is better to like stick up. It ruins it. I'm trying to go off that.
Okay.
We get a lot of incense inquiries.
Yeah. That's a thing because you know why? It's such a way for a young guy. Like you can't maybe afford like super nice furniture or even like a plant, but you can get incense immediately and switch up the whole fucking mood of the crib.
Yeah, and also like as a young man living in a trash apartment, your place probably smells like fucking sewage.
Yes,
and like,
also you're
oldie
disgusting.
newspapers. So yeah, like incense is a great and cheap investment.
Yeah, if you're listening, you're filthy and disgusting, and please wipe that ass.
And also, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of growing up.
Some of us on the Zoom are still there.
Damn,
some of us with virtual backgrounds are still there.
What are you talking about, man? This is fucking. I got this shit. I know it's good.
Malin and Getz.
Desert.
Malin and Getz.
Joshua Tree.
Oh, my man pulled out the M&G, dude.
Malin and Getz.
Nice. Malin Getz music. That's pretty good. Aaron, you don't get that's a Maybach. It's a rap thing. Rick Ross, familiar?
I was lighting my other incense stick.
There's a fucking MMG artist from Ohio. What's his name?
Stally. Yeah. Do you listen to any hip hop? We'll get the music later, but I'm actually just really curious. You and I never really talk about rap.
I know. Like I want to. I've like texted you before. I'm like, yo,
what's
send me? Send me rap. Send me rap to listen to.
Yo, can we before we get back to plugging
like
all of your?
It's like how do you get into like good wine? How do you like and not have an like I don't have a refined palate for wine. I don't have a refined palate for hip hop. So I'm like, send me like good music stuff.
If
did
you are a
did
kid,
you send it to me?
Well, this is below my pay grade.
Send him good music. Send him Kanye. Send him 2 Chainz. Send him all that shit.
If you are listening to this podcast, this is your opportunity to slide into Aaron's DMs and like look cool, and try to impress Aaron by sending him some of your favorite hip hop. And now we can get back to plugging your amazing colleagues.
Sell me on Abercrombie.
Yeah. All right. So, like I think like back in the day, they sold like a whole look, right? It was like head to toe and like and it was like very specific. And then I think it was so specific that when that specific thing stopped working, man, it stopped working in a big way, right? So over the last 5 years, we've got to work on this thing. And really, like the motto is just like exceptional product at exceptional value. Like I don't need you to wear it head to toe. I don't need you to come in and buy like a full look, but like I want you to come in and be like, damn, we didn't know that these guys made this,
Right.
Like I want you to go online and be like, oh my gosh, like as you're scrolling through, be like, wow, like I've seen stuff like this or like a look like this or not that like we get to do our own thing. We get to do our own look, but you're going to find the quality, a better fit and like really careful attention to detail at an exceptional price and a value to our customers, man. You know, like, so we're focused on our customers. We care about each other on the team. We don't want to let our team down. Like, we care about our business. We want to have a successful business, but the successful business doesn't happen without like the love of the customer, man, and like focusing on the customer. So that's what we're focused on, and like that, and making like bomb ass shit straight up. And like, sometimes we're not going to, sometimes we'll blow your mind, you know, and like, you'll be like really surprised, hopefully, when you come in, or just go online and like see what you can find from us, you know?
There are so many hidden gems. Listen, if this
Hidden
podcast,
gems, dude.
if this podcast is by anyone for anyone, it's John's enthusiasts that love gear. Aaron is like one of the most like intensely knowledgeable product dudes that I personally know, and I feel that there's a lot of other guys in our world like that as well, like our homie Antonio at fucking 18 East,
Homeboy.
Fucking Teddy
Shout
at
out
ALD,
Antonio.
but like this same kind
shout
of
out Teddy. I was supposed to see him today, but like it did not work out.
But that same,
crazy, but like, yeah.
But that same mindset that is happening at ANF, and like, and obviously, like, you know, we love you and we're so happy you're on the show, and we will probably be more mean to you than suck your dick. But in this moment, I just want to.
I would prefer that, to be honest.
Yeah, but yeah. I want to echo, because like you truly know and care about clothes on at such a deep level that people, I don't even think, get that shit is at ANF if you want to dig and find it, you know?
Dude,
let me just say two things. I think that like if you have any doubts, myself included, like just look at Aaron's fucking pedigree and resume, right?
Yeah, sure.
And the way that he like
speaks for itself.
You worked at two fucking cult classic brands, Hickey and Rogues Gallery, and then you came into Club and you turned that shit into a powerhouse, a bulldozer with a wrecking ball attached. And so just like, if that's what you're doing at Abercrombie, then that's just like, that's the fucking, the canvas that you're painting on now.
Yeah. That's where it happens to be.
And the second thing is, just real quick, is that I hate to gas up Lawrence, because we were literally on a business call yesterday and he's like, oh, I saw like his eyes glaze over and he's like, oh, I got to post a fit pic of me fucking, you know, being a differently abled model. And you know, the business call went to shit when he decided to come back in, and I was like, no, Lawrence, we already talked about that. Stop talking. I literally said, Lawrence, stop talking on the business call.
This did not happen. I don't remember it happening this way, but
the one John, yeah, exactly. Because you don't listen to other people. You don't hear other people's voices. The one John that Lawrence wears that I think he gets the most inquiries on and people have the most compliments and the most surprise about is his one top coat.
Yeah.
From Abercrombie.
I have two actually, right? But
the gray one, and then there's like the brown one, like the
brown one.
The brown one.
Get the brown one more inquiries, and more compliments than anything that I ever wear. It's insane. It's insane.
It's like it could be a $1,500 coat,
right? But how much was that at retail, by the way?
$185 or something.
Bring it,
like that?
yo! Convince the powers that be to bring it back, dog. Please.
So like that to me is like really compelling, right? Where it's like, okay, you know, I've had the opportunity to like work at brands that were like super expensive. We were using like the best fabrics in the world, and like, you know, no one can really afford them, right? So we would make 50, 100, and I loved working with that stuff, man. And I loved being able to work at like the factory in Rochester for Hickey Freeman, and I loved being able to go to like
The Rock.
You know, like Idea Biella on Lake Como and like buy fabrics from like Luciano Barbera, and people are like pumping mad butts and like smoking cigarettes in the morning and like pounding like espressos and like old
pumping butts,
like
dude.
Like,
hell yeah.
Man, dude, you know, like you know.
By the way,
like,
the title of this episode is going to be "Pumping Butts" with Aaron Levine.
I just
and that's a fucking promise. So that's not a joke.
It's a fact, Jack.
That's a fucking fact, Jack.
You know, that's a fact.
Right. But you've done the other thing. You've done the other end of it where it's like,
and it's amazing. But like, what really is compelling to me is like, you know, working with awesome people, right? Shout out Dan, shout out Ali, shout out Katie, shout out Trisha, homegirl, right? Shout out Helen, shout out Sarah, Jill, Megan, Ellen, like my posse, my crew.
Bro. This sounds like a shout out track. Speaking of fucking hip hop, goddamn,
shout
bro.
Out Corey, Robert,
yo, the whole Dungeon family,
shout
bro.
Out Chris and Scott, like the whole crew. Shout out Allison, shout out Billy Murray, like the whole crew, man. Like it is not like a one person. It is like we are all in, and it's like it's like super challenging.
Did you build that team yourself?
No, man. That's like the whole team. There's like design, it's merchandising, it's production, it's sourcing, it's planning. It's like all of us have to like be on the same page and like be able to look one another and like have that trust in order to like try to like build this thing back up. Right. So like that to me is like the most important thing is like, shout out Joanna, shout out Carrie, like mega marketing crew, man. Like learn from them every day. Like I'm telling you, I'm a low man on totem pole. Like I don't know anything these days. I'm old, dusty, old fart. So like, I just try to like learn from people, man, that like I get to work with. And like, that's where I get my bliss. Right. So like, the other thing is like changing perception of brands. Like that to me is like, get off. Right. Like that to me is like exciting. It's like,
yeah, you're the reboot ringleader.
So it wasn't just the fat paycheck that made you want to work at Abercrombie. It was the challenge.
I do it for free.
Can we quote you on that?
Don't tell HR that.
Yeah, bro.
HR, this is a parody account.
We're being recorded, to be clear. But yeah.
You know, like, look, I am very lucky, man, that I get to do what I love to do for a living. And, you know, like my mom always used to tell me, right, like, follow your bliss, follow your bliss, follow your bliss. And like, I failed so hardcore at like everything for so long. And then I just like moved to the city. You know, if you love the game, I don't know if there's anyone that loves the game more than me, dude. Like I might not be the best, right? I might not be the fastest.
You're like Rudy.
The strongest. I might not be the most successful. I might not be the coolest. I might not be this, but like, I'll be out there practicing, man. And like, I might not make the NBA. I might not be like an all-star or whatever, but like, I love
you put in reps.
This.
Yeah. Nobody wants it more. You leave it all out on the field. When it comes to this John's shit, that's the most compelling argument to make for anything that Aaron is ever working on right there.
Dude,
I mean,
I love it. Like, I love it as much as you guys. Like, I love it as much as like the Grom's coming up. Like, I literally feel like I'm 15, man, you know, and like I'm at Disneyland and I get to do this for a living. Like
live every day like a Grom, dude. That's really the mantra.
Like you're 15 at Disneyland.
Damn, that's dude. Shout out all the Grom rads, dude.
Speaking of,
I love it. Like I love it, and I love the game. I'm not the best. I get to work with the best.
You keep saying that you're not the best. We get it, bro. You suck.
You told us that you're not the best and that you do this for free. Abercrombie HR is going to send you a very long email.
Yeah, bro. You're fucked.
Yo, who is the Abercrombie customer right now? If you could even like the men's customer, like could you define them and then how do you want to help evolve that dude?
Right. Like obviously it's very challenging, right? Because there's a customer that's been very loyal to the brand for a long time. And then there's a target customer, right? And it's like, we're targeting a customer that's like, look, 25 years old. We want to give you like the best ammo in your wardrobe. You know, again, we don't need you to do head to toe. We're not trying to like capture all your shit. We're just like, we have things we know you will like. I just know you will like it, you know? So that to me is like, and that's like, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Wow. That's a promise, man.
I like the way you look.
Abercrombie, you're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
I want to hear about it, you know, and I want to hear about what we can do better because like, I'm curious in just terms of like always trying to be better. And like, so this 25-year-old kid, man, it's like, look, you've got a certain amount of discretionary income. You need your clothes to do a lot for you. You need them to like, I don't know, man. You just want to like good value. You don't want to get like held up and robbed. You want like cool stuff. You want to look good. You want to like hopefully have someone try to make out with you at some point.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Look good, feel good, play good. Right.
Kiss good.
Yeah.
That's another good episode title.
Smooch good.
Smooch good.
Practice on your hands. You know.
And also, like I think that
people.
I think that when kids are
practice with your hand, people.
When kids are developing their when kids are developing a personal sense of style, the barriers to enter is always price, right? So it's like you might want to try something a little out there, but you can't just fucking drop $300 at the drop of a hat, right? Yeah. So maybe it is like. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I got to jump in because like I'm like, how many times have you guys gotten smoked on something where you like spent a lot of money on it when you were maybe like a lot younger?
Prada boots. Most recently, as a grown ass man,
I don't miss though.
Yeah. Oh, James doesn't miss.
You don't miss. You don't miss.
That's funny. I mean, but yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. That's a young John's enthusiast worst nightmare, bro.
Yeah.
That's the
young, dumb, and full of fucking
like,
L's.
How many times I keep getting stung by the same friggin' bee? Like it just gets me.
Yeah,
I'm allergic to bees, and it's just like
a massive disappointment like that, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, and the serotonin you get from copying a John and then like the brutal crash from it. Oh, worse than a Molly crash.
Yeah.
So, all right. So like when you guys, okay, we're going to talk like nerd talk, right? Like, and you guys like scoop something that you like pay, you got to pull out your wallet and you got to pay money for, right? What was the latest thing that you guys like paid money for? Like full retail, you walked into a store and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy this. And I am amped that I bought it and it like worked out for you. And you were like stoked.
It's mainly vintage now, to be honest. First of all, I'm not trying to, if any brands are listening, I don't fucking buy shit. You can fucking send it to me and you'll be lucky if I wear it.
Lawrence is what we call a John simp, right? He'll thirst after it until it arrives in his mailbox. For me, it's a shirt
That's what you do with those coats.
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yo, if that's hand up, that's on me. It's true.
How much are those coats?
Like, hey, wait, does a closed mouth get fed? Does a closed mouth get fed? Thank you.
Lawrence is eating.
I was like, yo, I want to send you a coat, man. I want you to check this out too,
Because it's so
like,
good.
I had love for Lawrence for like a long time, man. I got a love for you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
You're a lover of the game.
True. Yo, game recognized game, bro.
That's what's up.
Wait, but sorry, Aaron, what was your point about like the last time that you went in and copped something and it was like a full win or an L?
I don't know. I guess my point was like, my point was, like I'm a junkie for this stuff, right? And like, I wanted to know, like, if you guys, I listened to your pod and on the way in, like I had a 9.5 hour drive. So I listened to a couple, right?
Okay. So you listened to two
from Ohio.
You got through two.
Dude, I drove from Ohio to Kingston, right? So I listened to like a couple good ones, man. I listened to like,
and some bad ones. Oh, right? Yeah. Joker.
Right?
Joker.
He's the Joker. No, you're fine.
Like mad respect. Like for our legacy, like what a brand. And like Stussy and like Chris Green, shout out Chris Green, dude. Like that guy's a man.
Sure.
Like I thought that was really good, dude. And then like I listened to the Andrew Chen one. Shout out Andrew Chen, fucking man.
Yeah, for sure. Another fucking guy who is a nerd about that's. Listen, if you're gonna spend your money with people, and these are all different price points. Like A&F costs differently than 18 East, costs differently than ALD, costs differently than 316. But guess what? If wherever you fall, whatever you're into, these are guys who fucking care about what you are going to buy and wear. Like they care about the customer. Like truly, you got to pay. You got to pay, but they care
because like we're customers too, right? Like Antonio too. I listened to Antonio's one a while ago. Shout out him, dude. Like I love him. Like talk about like real, recognized real. Like man, like that guy. I just love him. I love his passion for the game. I think he's just awesome. And then I listened to the Mordecai one too.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of a guy who loves a lot of things, loves chaos primarily. Right? I guess.
Chaos.
Yeah, dude.
But I love Mordecai, dude. Like, and like again, like he's just the most genuinely Mordecai person out there. Like no one could be him. No one can try to be him.
He's one in a million. He's one in a million. We hope.
He truly has a beautiful mind, and Mordecai gonna Mordecai. I mean, that's facts, Jack. That's
love
it.
Him.
Yeah.
Love him.
I guess though, like sure. in terms of being like a creative designer, and obviously you are plugged into a much larger ecosystem and team, but being that you are like a creative and designer by nature, by habit, by experience, however, knowing that you got to keep business afloat. Like, how do you kind of find a balance between being a creative and wanting to like freak shit, and then obviously just like the sellability of every collection, every piece? Is that a struggle, or does it kind of come naturally to you?
It's look, sometimes it's natural, sometimes it's a struggle, right? Like there's no like, it's not on or off. It's not like a digital thing. It's like an analog fucking wave, right? And like again, it goes back to the team, right? Where like I could start to come off the rails and get a little squirrely, and then like my boy down on the design team could be like, yo, I think it could be, like I hear what you're saying, but maybe it could be flipped to something like this, or like, our business partner, Corey, on the merch side could be like, I hear you, but like, how do we, like,
I hear you, but this is
focus on this. Yeah. I hear you, but
this sucks.
Moo ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yo, make those for the squad.
Yeah. And there's also like this, like I'm straight up with the team, like I'm like the canary in the coal mine. Like if I like it, be wary. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's your first
challenge
problem. Yeah. That's the first problem. We got to get past that. Yeah. Well, it's like we always say, if anybody gets dressed and your significant other hates the way that you look, that's when you know the fit is fire. So, sometimes you got to do you know what I'm saying? That's all.
That's what I'm saying. So then I dress like that. And then that allows me like the freedom and the creativity is like how I put my shit together and like what I find like vintage wise or like whatever. And then I like focus on like the task at hand, when we're working on the brand.
The balance that James is talking about, or finding that balance, obviously your team helps you with, clearly, like, is that something that it's almost like you've been building up to this point now on this, because Abercrombie, the size of the business, right? You were doing something similar, but on a smaller scale at club, and then even smaller with like, the deep cut shit with Hickey and Rose Gallery. So like, it's almost like we're using sports analogies. Does this feel like the pro leagues now with the amount of clothes that are being sold?
Yo, did you ever watch like, or read the book Ender's Game for the nerds out there? Did you ever hear about that book?
I'm familiar. I've never watched the movie or read it, but I'm familiar.
Most of us on the Zoom are illiterate.
All right. So basically it's like, I just think about it all as practice, regardless of the size of business. Right. And just like, and I use gut a lot. I use the customer's perception a lot. I use the team a lot. We all use each other a lot, right? So like, I always think about it as practice, man. Like that's it, right? That's what's cool about fashion. Is like, remember when, like, for like some of the kids that are out there right now, or like some of the dudes that are out there right now, or dudettes that are out there right now, like, like there was nothing more satisfying for me as like a poor student in school, that when your grades got like wiped out at a semester and you got to start over again, like that's what seasons are. It's like, whew, man, fuck that up. We can like do better next time, and like, ooh, that was good. How do we build on that? How do you like learn from your mistakes, which you like learn a ton from the stuff that you screw up. Like that to me is like the biggest learning experiences, is like you just learn a ton from the stuff you screw up. And then like, yeah, man. I don't know.
That reminds me, have you ever seen, I was going to ask if Aaron, that reminds me, have you ever seen the documentary, The Social Network? It's a documentary. And there's a great line from that documentary. Fashion is never finished. Yeah. And Mark Zuckerberg said that before he sold his soul to the devil. But that's kind of what you're saying, right? It's always happening.
Has there ever been a mistake that's kind of stuck with you that's like still living rent free? Like maybe you were like, hey guys, I really believe in this, and you pushed it through, even though Corey and Trina and the
Mick Jagger
people you mentioned were like, this crew, is a bad idea.
The whole Dungeon family.
Like,
and then
it just bricked,
everything, dude, everything. There's things that are like pre that still stick with me. There's Hickey things that stick with me. There's Rhodes things that stick with me. There's Jack Spade things that stick with me. There's Club things that stick with me. Like they all occupy like, cause like my dad's Jewish. So like half my brain is Jewish. So like that is all filled with guilt and like failure and like trying to like overcome that guilt and failure. But like
what's been your biggest failure?
Generally speaking,
you're already sitting on the ground in the bathroom. Let's get some tears going.
With your head in between your legs. Might as well turn the shower on, bro. Like a fucking, like the female lead in a James Bond movie.
Man. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's been so many. There's too many to count.
Yeah, there really have been so many.
Fair enough.
That's fine.
There's been so many, dude.
You talked about moving to the city, and now obviously you live in Columbus, Ohio, which is where Abercrombie Global HQ is. And I know that, like, as a vintage man and as a designer, you need a lot of references, a lot of vintage. Is the workwear and vintage just like next level in the heartland of America? And if so, is Lawrence going to go there, take a road trip to go culturally appropriate some blue collar culture?
If you're going to do it right. That's what I say,
I mean,
it's got to be good, right?
Yeah.
There's no way that you can't appropriate, for some good $3 like old school sweatshirts.
Sure.
You want Carhartts for like $6. You want like all that stuff. Then,
it's the real deal. And do you have like
it's the real deal?
And they're not price gouging, knowing that like the whole A&F campus is like up the block or whatever.
Yeah, no, they're not. There's a couple good spots. But I got to be honest with you, man. Like my spots for real are like eBay and Etsy. Like that's what I go back to. And then like I set limits for myself, and like I'll just geek out and just like, on like eBay and Etsy.
You have a budget
Those are my
too,
things.
probably, right? Like, you got the corp card that you can throw down, right? When it comes
Oh no, this is all personal, dude.
Really?
I do it all like personal.
off the arm for the love of the game.
It's got to be a business expense, no?
No,
Love of the game. No,
Damn.
man, like this is like, look, we're in serious times right now, right? Like we are, like COVID has like changed the name of the game. So like we're focused on like both our in-stores that are open, which are
Right.
less than were open like 5 months ago, in our online business. So like we need to be really savvy about our expenses. So like anything that I buy now is out of pocket, dude. And like you just like suck it up and
That's
play
crazy.
for
I
the
mean,
love.
if anyone doubted that, like this man is about it, like damn, the concept design is coming out of his own pocket, bro. Jeez.
All of us. It's not just me. It's like the
Sure.
squad, right?
Yeah.
But like, let me tell you something. Like Nicole, my wife, she hates it, dude. Like hates it. Like stuff shows up like all the time. Just like
Stop
You
buying
hide-
T-shirts. We got to put the kids through college.
Are you like? Do you ever hide?
Like-
do you hide stuff? Do you try to keep it
no,
like?
no. It's out there. It's all out there.
Yeah.
Literally, it's out there, all over the bedroom.
Right.
You
all
are a
over the
hoarder.
Closet. It's all out there. Watch that, things. Watch that now.
So it sounds pretty sick that like obviously you're in the heartland and like it's one kind of contained family, but do you ever miss the insanity and energy of a New York? And obviously you're well traveled, but like, do you miss New York?
Of course, man. I love New York. I love New York. Like I grew up in Virginia, but like New York is my home. Like I love the city that both of you guys are in right now. I love it so much that like I'm not quite in it yet, but I can kind of smell it from here.
Sure.
A lot of
But,
COVID
like,
refugees in Kingston right now.
Dude, yeah, totally. Like I love New York City, man. Like that's my home. Like New York. Like I just have a feeling when I'm in the city, it just. Like it's funny, like I'll talk to people about it in like Ohio and like some people are like, oh, totally, I get it. And then some people are like, you know what, I can visit it. For me, I got the train once in like high school when I went up to visit, for the day. I think like my mom let me play hooky or something and took me to the city and we like hung out in the city for the day, rode the Amtrak up and then rode it home. And I was like, I got off the train and was like, yo, New York, man. Like New York for me was like it, dude.
We ran this meme literally like 2 days ago about like a kid going to the Nepenthes store today for like the first time. And like,
Really?
Speaking of fucking getting your dick blown off, like, can you imagine being fucking 20 years old and you're just at the Nepenthes store and it's like incense and jazz and nobody speaks anything but Japanese.
It's
like,
New York or
totally.
nothing.
Yeah. So
I remember like getting off the train at like Penn Station, like walking out and some dude's like shucking CDs, man. And
Like sick. I can buy some crack here. It's Penn Station.
yeah, right, for real.
Sick. It's Sabaros.
Yeah.
Straight up nightmare. Penn Station nightmare. But like I got to buy, like I remember when I bought like the what was Ice-T's band when he came out with like Cop Killer? Do you remember that? Like that band?
Yeah.
Body Count.
Sure.
So like, all right, so that was a big deal. Like when it came out when I was in high school, right? So like, I remember getting off the train and like you couldn't buy the unedited Body Count album anymore because they like banned that shit. And then like I got the train and this was like so like bootlegs of like the real deal like Body Count album, and I'm like,
fuck you, Nancy Reagan. Is she dead or is she alive? Did she
Ronald's.
I don't know if
He's dead. She's dead.
All right. Well,
I hope she's dead.
rest in peace, you dead bitch, to Ronald Reagan, and
rest
hopefully
in
your
piss.
wife as well. Fuck you guys.
Rest in piss, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Kind of on the flip side,
is gonna
though.
love this, dude.
Kind of on the flip side.
maybe X the Body Count shit.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't
love
want to
that
get.
album.
I didn't want to get you in your own
love
head.
that
No, we're
album.
letting it ride. It's fine. You're good.
I loved that album, man. I love that stuff.
Wait, Aaron, I have such a question. This is like I wrote out 66 more questions, but this is the one question that like I've been wanting to ask for so long because I just I can't fathom it. I don't understand it. I can't even like unpackage it on my own. Why is Abercrombie & Fitch so popular in Europe?
Like I think it started because they couldn't get it there, right? Like it, there was shirtless.
Abercrombie & Fitch
sex
is to
sells.
Europe as Needles is to New York.
United States. Yeah, exactly.
And then, but now our business there is really strong too. But it was, I think, like when it started, like when Europeans were like really excited about it, I think it initially started with the fact that, like a lot of people would visit New York and they opened a flagship on Fifth Avenue, right?
Right.
And it was just like this mind blowing experience for the time,
It's aspirational, right? It's like exactly what you kind of want it to be, right?
It was the Gucci
Right.
of yesteryear.
Yeah.
It was, man. And like, look, brands ebb and flow, right? Like they go through different life cycles. And at that time, man, I remember like everyone shopping in that store and being like, how are these guys doing that? I remember like friends that worked at Polo shopping in that store. Like everyone was shopping in that store and being like, oh man, like it was an institution, and it was like a total experience thing, right? And it was like unique, and whether it was for you guys or for me or not, it doesn't matter, because it was for like a lot of people, man.
Sure.
And it was like a super successful. I think that's where it started, and then it just kind of went from there. Yeah,
It's just crazy. Like if it's just wild. You see the logo everywhere in Europe, and I guess it really is. Yeah, it was like if it's hard to get, then you go overseas, cop it, and flex it back home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. And like now, what we're seeing working over there is actually like a little more dressy component than we see working, in other places, right? It's like a little, kind of tastier stuff is actually working over there right now. So that's kind of refreshing.
Well, you love to see that for sure.
For sure.
Aaron, I've been described as insufferably woke. However, that has never stopped me before. Obviously, we are living in unprecedented times. Although for some people, these times have been precedented over and over and over and over for generations and generations. Whiteness, being white and white people has never been so whack. And in my opinion, that's always been the case. For Lawrence, it's only been, the last like 6 months or so.
I just found out that I'm not a very chill guy. What?
But it is... How's Abercrombie and yourself, like how are you guys making moves to diversify the image and the customer base, just in general? I mean, it's just smart business at the end of the day, but also just like it's the right thing to do.
And not only is it like, okay, look, of course it's smart business, because like as far as I think the company's concerned and whatever, there's right and there's wrong, right? You want to be on the right side of history, right? And like I think like when things were breaking, the company made a stance. They put a stake in the ground, and started making changes immediately. They literally started making changes. Not only did they make donations that were sizable and generous, but also started establishing partnerships that are going to be long lasting and meaningful. And like, it's crazy, guys. Like, I worked in New York for like a long time, and like when I went out there, people are pretty nice, man. And like the Midwest thing is no joke. Like I remember being sarcastic to my neighbor when I first moved in, and he was like,
what a dick.
Yeah, totally. But he wouldn't say that. He'd be like, oh, okay. And then he like never talked to me again. Like one of my next door neighbors.
Completely cut you out of his life.
Like that was it. He's like, who is this guy in our neighborhood? We do not like him. So that like the company is like committed, and like, look, they brought in like the D&I person who, by the way, is a badass. Shout out Gabby Royal. Like we're learning, we're trying to be better, and it's going to be a different thing going forward, like, and that to me is like super exciting, because like we're having like really meaningful conversations that are going to shape the way that we do business in the future. And it's about time, right? Like it's about time. Yeah. So, and it is not like a half-ass attempt. It is a fully committal attempt. But like, as someone who works on a design team, like you can't hear that shit from me. You got to like go to the top for that. So.
It's pretty clear if you like look at the moves made and like just kind of the immediacy around the phase 2 or 3 or whatever we're in. Oh, there wasn't a lot of like lip service, right? There was a lot of action.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is like refreshing. Yes, because like it's not just whatever like surrounding a hashtag or whatever. And another thing that I was reading about in 2018, you guys, and you were quoted. You had a lot of words about sexiness in this Fast Company article. But it was kind of around like it was kind of around just like general strategy over like introducing A&F to Gen Z. Are you going to start designing clothes for like the big TikTok stars?
Yeah. Like Celine, like Eddie Slimane.
Oh man, dude. I don't know. Like, look, there are things that I'm good at. And then like, I think part of like being decent at like what you do and like where you do it is like knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are. like what I know about TikTok is like, I know that like my kids are on it, right? And I know that it's important as shit, but there are people on the marketing team that are savants and that they know like way more about this stuff than I do. I'm not going to pretend to tell you that I know that stuff, you know, like I can tell you that like I trust that crew to be like on it, you know, and like that's part of like what's making us work right now is like, I'm not going to step on their toes. Like they're going to do their thing. We're going to do our thing. We're going to try not to let them down. We're going to try and like not let the customers down. We're going to try and like not let everyone working in the stores down. Like we have like a lot of responsibility, man, to like everyone that works at this company and like all the customers that shop here to like when you come in, make it worth you coming in. So like that's my focus, right? And then the marketing team who are like wicked smart, they focus on that, and like I trust them.
Well, I think the biggest, one of the best sellers of like merch that you see on TikTok all the time, or at least on straight TikTok with like the big stars, is just sweatpants that say "Stop looking at my dick." So you'd actually be doing us a favor if you don't fucking cater and start designing for those, whatever, like LA assholes.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't know if we can do that, man. Like our main focus, right, is like the brand and like trying to make like really nice stuff. Like that's it. At the end of the day, like make nice stuff, like make good stuff, you know, and like not rip off a customer, man.
Yeah.
Like I want people to come and be like, damn, you know, like we didn't know these guys did this, you know? Like I wish they knew that we did it and they weren't like
ideally they will know now moving forward.
Yeah, like hopefully. And then like I want to hear from them. I want to hear from, you know, like the 18 million people listening to this call, you know, like I want to hear what I can do better.
Oh, they're going to let you know.
Because I know.
Along with some really cool rap recommendations. Don't forget about that too.
Forget about that.
A&F was very much ahead of its time. Like obviously the whole influencer cottage economy exists now, but like Abercrombie used to have kind of brand ambassadors in the form of Amelia Earhart, Ernest Papa Hemingway, and Teddy Roosevelt, the most fucking badass American of all time, the OG Rough Rider, a true murderer's row of influencers.
Yeah, dude.
Do you do you fuck with influencers now? Because I know that you were saying that like we used to dress presidents and adventurers and pioneers. And that's kind of like what the direction we want to go in. Do you fuck with like influencers, the whole influencer thing in general? Or is that kind of something that...
Yeah. We do. We try to keep it like as organic as possible. And again, like that marketing crew, man, that's on it. It's like, and unlike any team that I've ever worked with, man, like they are on it, dude. They're dialed in. They're super sensitive. And like, they are all about like the customer, man. And like, not in like a cheesy way in terms of like, oh, how do we get like in their pockets? It's like, what are they into? Like, how do we understand more so we can be more impactful in like giving them what they want? Like, that's what we have to do is like give them what they want, man. And it's like, and then like, all right, so it's like, how do we get them what they want? And then also like, maybe how do we like kind of give them what they want before they know they want it? You know, like they just come into the store and they're like, yo, oh my gosh, like I thought I wanted this, but I actually might want this, and this, you know? And like that to me is like,
before you can get that person in the store or on the site and have them completely blown away at the selection and the value and all the amazing things that are happening, like you need to put it on the radar. And like James said, with influencers, a huge part in fashion now is like celebrity ambassadors. Who is like your dream celebrity ambassador for A&M?
Man, like I'm not like, okay, so one thing
you personally, I'm just really curious.
Flash.
Like, man, like
Mick Jagger.
No, so like I am not a celebrity person, right? Like that to me, like,
I'm the most famous person you know, so I get that.
Wow.
You.
Infamous, not famous, infamous.
That's who I want.
Dubious.
You know? like, okay, so I understand the influence that those people have. Like, again, then I can't leave that up to me because like, I'm not a celebrity person. Like, that doesn't impress me. Like, again, I'm older, right? So like, I've met people that I thought I'd be into, and then I've been like kind of let down.
Yeah, we're not going to like, mention, you know,
we're not going to like mention those names or whatever.
Of course
like,
not.
Damn, you know, like I think the most important people to me are like the most genuine, like vulnerable, honest, open people that I meet, and I'm surprised by. Like
James Taylor was a dick.
Like,
yeah.
That's fucked up, dude.
Never met the guy.
Yeah. So there's no one.
Carolina. He's a great song. He's a great songwriter.
Oh yeah, no.
But there's not. But like, who in Aaron's world? Like, I know like there's marketing people that would have a whole strategy. Just who do you think is sick that you would like to see wearing the clothes that maybe the younger audience at home would also?
It's got to be a musician, right?
Okay, then I want like Ian McKay, dude. I want like old Fugazi stuff. I want like. He would never.
Right, like, probably not.
Right,
yeah,
but
probably
like,
never.
Like I have like my own personal heroes that were like, honest to God, like they were like like my personal heroes are like kind of like anti-establishment, like old punk people, man. That's what like I really get into, and like people don't necessarily like follow like the normal trajectory of folks, and like that to me is exciting, and like that to me is like inspiring, and people that kind of like. That beat their own drum and like and do their own thing, and like punk. Artists and like photographers and musicians and
it's punk
painters and sculptors and like that kind of thing to me. Like Foster Huntington, shout out Foster. Like him. To
Hashtag
me
van life, bro.
Dude, super. He like to me. He's like I look at him as like a muse, man. I'm like he to me is like he had the concept gig at Polo and was like. Gave it all up, lived in a van, built.
What's his IG? Is it just Foster Hunting, his name? People should check him out.
I think it's at Foster Hunting.
He'll Instagram will populate it because he has like 1 million followers. So
he built that treehouse and bowl, right?
Yeah, the tree house.
And he built the bowl, and I went to go visit him there. And then he built a movie studio there, right? And then
talk about the CEO, the real CEO, chairman CEO of corporate America. That dude is the Gorp god, bro. That's real Gorp shit.
Like he is like, he's legit. He's the real deal. And like those kinds of people are like my heroes and like who I look up to. And I'm like, I think I'm super inspired by him. And like, he's making a movie right now that I just think is like the bomb, and like, he doesn't wait to be told no, he just does it, and like, he doesn't wait to be told like he can't do something. He just figures it out. And I'm like, it's like what you guys are doing, right? Like you just figure it out.
Are you starting to see your friends and homies like kind of come around like, wait a second, what Aaron's doing in Abercrombie's sick.
Yeah.
Like not just Lawrence, but like, for example, Ian or Michael Williams or whoever.
Yeah. Did you seek that validation? To some degree?
You know what? Like, when I used to seek that validation and I was way unhappier then, right?
That's true though. That's true facts.
Yeah, man. It was like that leads to like unhappiness, dude, to seeking validation. So I think like just like following your bliss, man, and like being true to yourself and like doing that is like what's the most important thing. And then like if people end up liking it, that's amazing. And that's a huge bonus. But I think it's all about like trying to be as true to yourself as possible and like being open and honest and like and giving credit, give it all away, dude. Give the credit away, man. Like it doesn't do anything to it's all about just like sharing, creating stuff with people, man. And like when you're creating stuff with people, that's joyful. When people respond to it, that's joyful. And like that to me is like the biggest reward.
Yeah, James and I, and I, and the Groms, our Gromrats, we don't podcast because we want to be the only podcast that matters. That we want to be number one on the charts week after week. That we want to line our pockets with cold hard cash. We do it because we enjoy doing it, and because we fucking enjoy each other's company while we're doing it. And you can fucking book that shit,
and we get to meet and speak to amazing people like yourself.
Yes, of course.
And like that's exactly. Like, and I got to be honest with you, right? Like, I got to be dead honest. Like I was like, oh man, I'm doing this thing now. And like, I talked to Lawrence about it and I was like, yo, let's do this, man. And then I was like, oh gosh, I was like all nervous about it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like why I'm like so amped to talk to you guys, just to talk to you is like, I get to talk to people that love for the love of the game. Right. Yeah. And like that to me is like the coolest thing. Like I didn't come from a lot of stuff. Like I didn't have, I don't have trust funds or any of that shit, like I came up and like, I had a couple amazing breaks. I had a couple amazing plugs that like super helped me out. Like when I hear the term self-made, I'm like, that's amazing. If you're actually truly self-made, I find it hard to believe that people are actually truly self-made because people help each other along the way. And that to me is like the most important thing. It's like, I was in a room a couple years ago with some folks. It was like Hranek and Eugene and Pesco and Heather Shimakawa and like Tavo and like these crew. And I'm like, and we got to have this dinner. And I was like, yo, I got to say a little something. And I'm like, no one in this room would be where we are without each other, know? And like, that to me is like, it's like a great little community, man. And if there's anyone listening that wants to get into this, do it. Like it's hard and it's really tough shit and it's not easy and it's not all glamorous and it's like super stressful and I have like high anxiety about it. But like at the same time, it's because like I love it so much, man. And like that to me is like it comes with it, like following your bliss. Then when you care about more about something, then it also causes you more friggin' strife. And I don't know if you guys feel that or not, but
well, I think Mr.
But I get where you could be coming from potentially. I don't know. I think
both Mr. Abercrombie and Mr. Fitch both once said, "Just do it."
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one for sure. Everyone knows that, dude.
Aaron, though, so let's talk about like the actual creation of actual things, which you obviously are so enthusiastic and passionate about. What's dropping this fall? Like what individual item is coming out this fall that you are most stoked on?
Yeah, that everyone at home needs to like fucking write down and not even that, but just like
what really tingles your Pringle.
Oh man. Okay. So, like there's like a lot of stuff that we're working on. Right. And for me, like I'm not the target customer anymore. Right. Like I am not it. I'm not it. Like I'm not that guy because what we're trying to do is like give this guy and our girl like an awesome resource to come and like buy cool shit. So we have, okay. So, all right. We're also working on like a year out right now.
Sure. Right.
So
right.
when you talk about this fall, I've already like blotted it out.
Sure.
Blotted it out. Our sweater game is strong. Our denim game is strong. Our pants game is strong.
Everything's strong.
Game is strong.
It's like, I'm hearing full fits. I'm hearing full strong fits.
And again, like you don't need to wear like head to toe, but like, like it won't necessarily even be branded, like it won't be branded, but you can come in and people be like, yo, what's that? And people be like, yo, it's Abercrombie. And people be like, wait, what? Like you wear with that coat, man. Like that thing is like, that's what I want to do is like surprise people with like stuff that they didn't think that they could find here and be like blown away by stuff. So, that's it. It's not. Like
is there a specific piece you're currently working on for fall 2022 that is like?
So we're not working on fall 2020. We're about to go into concept for fall 21. We just came off of summer and we worked through that, dude. And the shorts game is
what's the inseam length?
Yeah, we're talking 5-inch inseams. Yeah, what inseams can you push at the mall? 5s?
We got 5s. We got 7s. We got 9s. We got 11s. But we got 5s for the kids at home.
The TikTokers.
Yeah.
You got 3s? You got 3s for the sexy
guy. I'm a short guy. I'm a short guy.
Who is 11 for? Fucking Shrek, bro? What the hell?
It's for his next door neighbor that fucking doesn't understand snark.
Yeah.
You wait. Give me one.
11. An 11 is like a capri.
That's some performance.
Which I guess again, big in Europe. A&F is big in Europe, and those Europeans, they love a capri and a man pre at that.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, I know you're the Prince of Positivity, but let's spin it over to the negative side. What's something that you're embarrassed made it to shelves?
Oh no.
Absolutely nothing.
Not going to happen.
Proud of everything.
Oh, like I'm not going to divulge that. Because it goes back to the canary in the coal mine thing, right? Like there could be something that I was super proud made the shelves.
Right.
People hate it. So like, what's the point of that? Right.
Sure.
Like, that's why I'm like, okay, it requires like a balance.
Unlike
because
Chuck,
it's not about me.
You just passed the vibe check, bro. Good job. Well done.
Yeah.
That was a test.
That was a test. That question was submitted by Abercrombie HR.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's Chuck at? Chuck, how we doing over there, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm nursing the water. It's been a great epispe. I'm loving it.
Chuck texted on the side. Chuck texted us on the side. He said, "This app rules."
Yeah. That was his feedback.
Got the Jumbo Jameson on deck too. So
shit!
I'm having a great time.
Well, why did you flash your water? But then it's like you've got the friggin' Magnum of
It's a
Jameson.
747.
I have giant hands. I have giant hands too, so it looks like a normal bottle, but it's actually huge. Heisman.
Damn, thank you for your contribution, Chuck.
Chuck getting his
we
Irish
appreciate
up.
you.
Mustache.
Yeah.
Yo, Aaron, so, you mentioned the Yoakum episode. A lot of that kind of focused on his collaboration with Stussy and how we just were so blown away by just like the general concept that Chris Green, the homie, did play a hand in bringing those two parties together and
Chris
why
Green
it made
is
so
the
much
homie,
sense.
dude.
And also just how well it was executed. Do you ever see has Abercrombie ever collaborated with another brand or anyone out there? And like, could you ever see that happening to kind of, whether it's for gaining new audience share, tapping into new demo, or just to like do fire shit with another brand that you fuck with?
Yes, I would absolutely love that, right? Like, I absolutely love that. But I think it's happening a lot right now, right? So I think what we need to do right now is like focus on producing our own fire shit right now. And then when the time is right, the time is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to rush that. I don't want to
It's not a marketing stunt.
You can't take like, the brownies out of the oven before they're done. Like, you got to cook the brownie and you got to want other people to like eat the brownie and then come back for the brownie. You can't just like,
you don't want salmonella.
I think it's like, you want to just like, you want it to be like organic and natural and positive and like exciting for every member and party involved, and not like some play, right? Like,
right.
And I don't think anyone in the company is into that play. I think it's all about like, when the time is right, the time is right. And when the partner's right, the partner's right. And we'll figure it out,
These things reveal themselves organically. What's what you're saying? These things reveal themselves over time organically.
That's my point of view, man. That's kind of how it happened at Club, when we did them. And like, and again, like I'm a huge fanboy, right? So like we worked at Club, we worked with like amazing brands, we worked with like Stone Island, we worked with like Lardini, we worked with like these amazing like brands that were like so sick, and like they were amped to work with us, and it was so cool, right? And it just kind of happened naturally. And that's how it's going to have to go here. That's all there is to it. It's not a rush, like our main focus is on our brand and like our customer, man. And that's it.
If you had your druthers though, and like, if when the time's right and stars align and every domino falls, like who would a dream collab for you be? Whether it's Abercrombie or just like your personal, whatever is down the road later in life, but like who would you really want to work with?
Oh man, like I love personally like home stuff and like furniture stuff, right? Like, because I think it like rounds out your whole thing, right? Like for me, especially during like this time, it's like my environment that I'm in is like amazing, like is so important to me, right? So it's like maybe something like that, or I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's so many that like I don't know. For me, it's what's that?
Herman Miller. He's a homesman.
Yeah, Herm.
Yeah,
Hermy.
You're right.
Check him out.
Give
him a Google.
You're right. Like I do love that shit. And I also think like, especially during these times, it's like, who are the people that like need help with their business and like need help growing their business, like. I can't take credit for this, right? Like my boy Dan, who's on the design team, he worded it really well. He was like, how do we give people like a platform for their voice? And like that to me was like a really well said way to put it. So I can't take credit for that, but it's like that's also like super important. And it's like who can we give a voice to when the time is right as well, from a business perspective. Because like a lot of these collaborations, right, they're like one and done. And when you collaborate with someone that's like a smaller brand, then sometimes they get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like they get hurt. Like I've seen, like I'm going to bring up Barney's for a second, and it's like, man, I love that store, and I loved Barney's, and like I remember like when we got some brands into Barney's that I had the opportunity to work on, like it was awesome, but like there wasn't like a lot of loyalty there, and it was just like kind of one and done kind of stuff. And a lot of times for brands that you collaborate with, like that's more hurtful for the brand than it is like positive.
Yeah, sure.
So I think you got to take the ego play out of it and like really do something meaningful and like constructive for like every party involved that makes sense from a business perspective, that makes sense from their business perspective, our business perspective, And then the customer's perspective, like they're going to see it and be like, oh, yo, this is cool. Or, or else it comes off as like cheese and lame. And like, that's not okay either, So there's like a natural factor to it, but then there's also like a smart factor to it that all has to line up,
This just struck me, and as the head of the Throwing Fits biz dev department, I'm a genius. But what if you put the whole Kingsley staff on Flow Team and just gave them some Fire Johns, and then every time someone was at the Kingsley Hotel, this very cool hotel in this cool town, they're just like, "What is that?" Bro, it's Abercrombie.
Actually,
uniforms.
Not even uniforms, because like you don't want to be like too stuffy, but just like give them the flannels, give them the fucking double knees and shit.
If you know.
Like we actually like talked about that. It actually didn't work out. It wasn't the right time for the company because again, like we're in transition, right? And it's like we need to like reestablish ourselves as like instead of like a dirty little secret, we want to be like your go-to, like instead of being like, oh, I don't want to tell people where I got this, I don't want to say where I got this.
Right.
But like being like reestablished and then like going full throttle into it, So,
yeah. That kind of reminds me too of like, think about like Hickey and Rogues Gallery. Like they were beloved kind of like cult classics that people were like stoked on and, wanted to kind of like, tell a friend. It's kind of like how this show has grown from 2 listeners being myself and James to 18 million now, this kind of word of mouth thing. Why do you think they kind of ultimately petered out and failed, to be totally frank? Like, what would you say happened there to either of those?
I think that like, I think that like the stuff that's affecting the industry right now, like was affecting it then too. Like I think that kind of the it was
a broken system, right? It's been a broken system for a long time.
It's been a broken system.
Yeah,
it's been a broken system, right? And a lot of it has been like fraudulent and like not true, right? And so it's like. Like a lot of media like posts, promotes people and then also takes advantage of them. And then like a lot of these big stores would like promote people, then take advantage of them and then like put their shit on like on rolling racks and send it back to them.
Chew them up and spit them out with no disregard for like the relationship.
With no regard for their relationship and like no respect and like actually not there to nurture and grow them. But to like use them to grow their own business and then not support them.
It was parasitic. It was
absolutely
it was predatory.
Predatory, exactly. Yeah.
100% because like I think the writing was on the wall for like a lot of these big companies and like they saw it as like a temporary like fix, like a hit for them. And then in the end it hurt like a lot of small businesses, man. And that's not right either. So
would you change anything going back, or was it like, are you, and I know you're a positive, a guy who looks forward, but I was telling James, like, the way that I felt about like Hickey for me, like I thought Rogues was very cool. Rogues was obviously Alex Carlson, right?
100% it was. Yep.
What's his name? Alex Carlton? Excuse me.
Yes. Carlton. Yep.
Carlson, excuse me.
And Carlton and like Jake Carroll was there at the same time too. And our other dude, Danny Pepis, and like Ian Lardy was actually there with me at the same time. Shout out Ian.
Yeah.
So, like
Hickey was so special, bro, for a lot of guys coming up and getting into menswear at that time.
Dude, it was really special for me too, because I didn't know anything, man. Like I didn't know anything. And like, I had some big brothers there that like looked out for me, dude. And like taught me some ropes. And like, one dude, especially Billy Dratty, was like, yo, some of your shit is whack, dude. You are whack. You are whack. You have cockroach style. You need to get your shit together and like, let's learn some ropes. And I was like,
he basically anointed you the swagless homie. Yeah.
100% deserved too, man. Like 100%. Like I was flipping all levers and he's like, how about you just flip one lever, dude? How about you just flip one lever?
Relax. You're doing too much.
Yeah, bro.
This whole thing,
you're doing the most.
Chill it out, dude.
Sweetie, you're doing the most right now, sweetie.
Yeah, you're doing the most, and none of it's good. The whole end result not good. Like none of it was good.
I thought it was good. Maybe that means I was swagless too, because I was like, "Yo, this shit slaps, bro."
Maybe we were looking at Billy's work, not Aaron's.
I don't know.
So like with the Hickey stuff, I mean, I was like talking about like my own personal style, and then like as I grew into like the Hickey role and like the people that were there to like mentor me kind of like went away, like there was some stuff there that was like, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I can do this. And then it was like, wait a minute, I shouldn't do this, dude. Right. I should not do this. Like I didn't understand like, and frankly, I was, and thankfully, like I was like in an environment where like the president of the company was like, cool, we learned some lessons. Right. And that's, and I was like, yes, we did. Yes, we did,
You got to learn how to be your own editor.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was a skeleton crew that was there for that brand at that time. And it was a passion play, dude. We were just trying to make cool shit straight up, and some of it was cool. Some of it was whack. Some of it was donk. And then some of it was like really, really cool, man. And like maybe a little bit ahead of its time. But that was my own fault for not having like, clear intentions and like not having like a completely dialed in point of view. And I still don't like, I'm kind of like I just like to aggregate, dude. I like so much stuff. And then I like the combination of things. That's like what I really like to do is like high, low, gritty meets pretty kind of like mix. And it takes a long time to learn that and to do that in a sense where it like feels thoughtful as opposed to just like stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And also
Stuff
like
for the sake of stuff.
And I do think that the size of those businesses back then, before a small business could exist on its own and have its own e-commerce, you're more at the whim and at the mercy of like the large retailers that could kind of jerk you around and like make you sign to terms that weren't favorable for, maybe short-term growth, but not long-term growth. Is that like, I don't know if I'm fucking making a mountain out of a molehill, but did that kind of, after those two, you went to Club and then Abercrombie, two like massive brands. Do you find like, does that have anything to do in going from like the smaller brands, like the bigger guys, and still affecting change and obviously having like major influence from within the machine? But like now you're not getting pushed around by the fucking, third parties. Now you are like the master of your own ship.
Yeah. I learned some like really valuable lessons at Club, right? Like when I went there, I was pretty young and was put in a position that was like, frankly, like over my head, because I think that like something that's like really overlooked is like how, you lead other people. Like, I think that there is a point of view where it's like you go in and you're the one telling people what to do. And you're the one telling people like, this is what it should be, as opposed to it being like lifting people up, supporting them, nurturing them, supporting new ideas, having it be like an open, trusting, honest, like good environment to work in where people feel confident and they feel good about themselves so they can produce their best work. Like that to me is like where you get the best results. And it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about your point of view, but it's about like how you give away all the good stuff, man. Like you give away all the good stuff and you take the lumps yourself. And I found that what happens when you do that is like, you're just happier. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I can do whatever I want, like on my personal, in my own terms, in terms of like what I want to wear or what I want to like buy for myself. But like when you're creating something and you're responsible for like everyone that works, like you're responsible for other people that work there, right? Then it has to become like a much more collaborative environment. And like when I say that, I don't mean that like in a bullshit way. I mean like truly,
right?
Like what are your ideas? Tell them to me. Let's work through them and like try to figure out cool shit together. Because like, if you guys were going someplace and like make a brand and you were like, only do this because you guys liked it, chances are, it'd be awesome because of you to.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Like normal people,
right?
If they were to do that,
if you're a civilian, if you're a pedestrian, it's very
if
different.
you're a pedestrian, then
you're
you might
Philistine.
find that you're talking in a vacuum, man, and like what you're into actually might be whack, for like a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So
troglodytes screaming in caves, man. Like, come on.
That's it.
Well, here's the $1 million question, Aaron. Like, do you see yourself at a certain point starting your own thing? And I know you like have your team and you've definitely like, built that over 5 years now at A&F, but like, would you like, do you see yourself doing your own brand?
And HR's tuned out an hour ago. So
or just like at some point in the future, just like throwing it, talk about leaving it all on the fucking fields,
I know, man. Like I go back and forth, right? Because it's all about knowing yourself too. And like what your strengths and weaknesses are. And like, look, if it were like an unlimited budget and like, like all these different things applied, like maybe, but like, like I'm pretty happy right now, dude. And like, and would I like to do that eventually? And like, like, do I have pipe dreams of like, man, I just want to make art for the sake of art, right? Because like, I think it's art. Like I look at it like art because it is, man. It's like, you know,
Johns
like,
are art, people. If this podcast has taught you anything, it's that.
Johns are art, dude. I respect the shit out of it. You know, like, look, Larry, James, Chuck, Chef, you're not here. Respect you guys for the love of the game, right? And like, for me, like as a kid, like I was weird, right? Like I was obviously like not the coolest kid, and like but I had a point of view, and I liked certain things that I liked, man. And like, at some point, like, would I love to be able to like do something like that for the love of the game, straight up for the love of the game? Of course, right?
You got kids, but you also got kids now, so it's not that easy.
That's a Codeine Levine dream right there.
Yeah. But then, like, I also like this is for the love of the game. Like what I'm doing right now with the team that I have is like, and the team that I get to be on is like for the love of the game. So, like, you know, it's like Michael Jordan played basketball by himself. Not that I'm, you know, saying that, but like, you know, like professional athletes don't play sports by themselves, right? They're on a fucking team, man. And like the team is what makes that team great, not like an individual. Right. So there's joy that comes from like being on a team, man. There's joy that comes
greater
from,
than the sum of its parts.
100%. There's joy I get joy from getting schooled on my team. I get joy from being like, oh, I'm on my ass, and like these people just ran around me, and like that's great. Like because like I work with people that are like smarter than me, and then sometimes I'm like, yo, I could just, you know, I just want to rain sometimes, you know. But like,
yeah, right.
But then I'm like, who am I raining on? Nobody, because they're like, you're shooting by yourself over here.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't fucking mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just throwing bricks over.
Aaron's playing with himself in the corner again.
Exactly, just bricks. But like, I, you know, like I also, you know, like I'll talk to like some friends every now and then. I just want to like make, like all I want to do is make stuff. It's
like the Pine Lake merch.
Yeah, like there you go.
Pine Lake merch. You know, like it's funny. Like I'll text, dude, Craig Atkinson. Shout out Craig Atkinson over at Reigning Champ CYC Design. Like he's the man. Like I learned a lot from him. We did a collaboration with him at Club Monaco when I was there.
Right.
And like I will text him and just be like, yo, Craig, or you know, let's just make some stuff, just to make some stuff. That's where I get the joy, man. It's just like making stuff for the love of it, you know. And
you're talking to fellow merchman.
Yeah, we make a lot of merch, buddy boy.
Oh, so. That's right.
We've made,
you get the full brand there now.
Yeah, we do.
We can now say merches plural because we made two.
Yeah, we've made multiple merch. I think
you made a top and a bottom. So
yes,
essentially it's a collection.
And we got a boot. And we got a boot coming out, so it's the full.
Yeah,
head to toe.
What do you think? What do you think of the DMA boot? This is the DMA collab.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming out in September.
I think it's friggin' fire, man.
Hell yeah.
So, good. It's fucking good.
So I bought a boot. Let me see that boot. Get that boot up here. So I bought a boot.
Get that
like
boot
that.
back up here, boy.
I was like, okay, so that boot, I bought that boot all black with the zip up front and like the laces from non-native, right? Like it wasn't that. It was right. That
like
bottom,
a duck boot.
But it was that. No, it was literally like that maker, made in Italy, not like Chelsea, not with a two-tone. That is fire. I love that boot.
Well, listen, hey, for everyone listening at home, fucking mark your little calendars. 7th. September 8th.
7th. Labor Day, for some reason. For some reason, we're dropping this on Labor Day, which is really stupid, but
well, you know why? Because we shit these out after months of labor, intense labor.
Yeah.
And then
dude, I need to get on the flow team for them shits. What's up?
Yep. Well, listen, we'll talk. We gotta play it. We gotta pay it. Yeah. I owe you, bro. So
yeah.
We'll take that out of Lawrence's half.
Yeah, we'll get your sizes. Actually,
I never got an Abercrombie coat.
Yeah, true.
No, I mean, so at you know, we're all experienced designers here.
Failing upwards at that point, so I got.
Oh, what? Wait, who? What?
Right,
I never heard of that, bro.
Never heard of that bitch.
Never heard of that bitch.
We're all experienced designers here. We have done nothing but smashes. You've had, you know, the dizzying highs, the terrifying lows, the small brands, the big brands, everything in between. For the 18 million listening at home, obviously we have some aspiring designers in the mix. Like, what's the piece of advice you'd give to someone that is like the most foundational? They're just starting out, or they're just finding their footing. But like, what is the piece of advice? Like your mom told you, follow your bliss. What would you tell this aspiring designer at home right now?
Foundational.
Give up, like straight up. I don't have professional training. I'm not a professional.
Wait, was it
designer.
give up or don't give up?
It was throw in the towel, go home,
Shut it the fuck down.
shut it down.
Go to a trade school.
Pumping gas is like super respectable.
Learn how to code.
Pumping gas is the
Fine.
future, to be honest. That's the future.
I was
that
this
some of us
close to
want.
pumping gas. I was this
Really?
close.
If you can't you can't see this at home, ladies and gentlemen, but he is almost touching his fingers. They are
His fingers are,
nearly,
like
they're
it was
smooching.
like in Empire Strikes Back when like the Millennium Falcon like springs out of the mouth of that like worm thing in the asteroid.
Sure.
That's how close it was
Right.
for like my entire thing collapsing on me. You know.
So alternate timeline, Aaron Levine, you've died of an opioid addiction, probably.
I mean, look, dude, I failed out of school. I was living in my parents' house. Because I was lost. I didn't know like what I wanted to do, or I did, but I didn't know how to do it. So, like I think that there's several things, right? Like when you go to sleep at night, there's a voice in your head that's like pretty honest, right? Like you can bullshit your way through the day. And you can bullshit your boys, and you can bullshit your girl, and you can bullshit whoever. Bullshit your folks, you can bullshit your family. But like when you go to sleep at night and like there are things that you like, right? There's things that you like. Everyone's like, oh, what's my thing? I don't have a thing. But like if there are things that you enjoy, it's like that's the only advice, right? It's like, okay, if you enjoy that, like and I say this like after like failing a bunch at like so many things, right? But like I got to do what I wanted to do. And as soon as you do that, like your natural passion comes out.
Yeah.
And like I think passion is the key the key ingredient, right? Like if you're excited and you're amped and you're passionate and you're enthusiastic and you're genuine about that shit and you're honest and you're like and you've done this shit that you said you've done and when you say you do something, you do it and you follow up and you do it, like that speaks volumes, like I'm again, like we talked about it, right? Like I'm not the best, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the smartest. But like I tried to go home, dude. I tried to go home. That shit didn't happen. It did not happen. Like I remember like after a week in New York, I remember like I called home and I was like, yo, I had no friends.
Yo, mom, what up?
I was like living with a stranger. It was January. It was like New Year's Eve. I moved up. I knew nobody. I was broke. I had no friends. I was sleeping under an electric blanket.
Chuck, sound familiar?
No fucking heat, in like my place. And I was just like getting screamed at by my boss. He was asking me if I was like distracted by like all the big tall buildings in New York. And I was like,
wow, dude,
idiot.
what a dick.
Whoa, an elevator.
Stupid idiot. He's like, why don't you go back to like Bumblefuck, Virginia, wherever you're from. And like,
what a dick. What's that fucking asshole doing now? I hope you're fucking dead.
Here's the thing. He
works for Aaron.
He's president of the United States of America, and his name was Donald Trump, and he was the worst boss I ever had.
He actually taught me a shit ton. I think like
what not to do and how not to treat people.
Yeah, dude. Yes. And I don't care whatever situation you're in, whether it's good or whether it's bad. You can learn something from it, right? Whether you want to do something like that, or whether you be like, okay, cool. Maybe I want to learn something from this, but maybe I don't want to handle it like this. But I think it's like not giving up, true fucking grit. Like grit it out and like suck it up. And like, if you love it, then you do it and you figure it out. Like, don't expect like people to hand shit to you. Like, don't expect the handouts because everyone's hustling, man. Everyone's struggling. Everyone's like trying to make the best for like what they're working on. So it's all about, it's not about you. It's about like figuring it out and like, what can you offer? Whether it's to a customer, whether it's to a company, whether it's to whatever, wherever you're going, it's about gritting it out and sucking it up and like earning your medal and like earning your chops, man. And like, like knowing like when you're learning, like and taking advantage of like a learning experience. Because like, I thought I knew a shit ton and I was like, I walked in there like cocky as shit. And then I got schooled. Like I got straight up schooled. And like, I still get schooled daily. Yeah. Daily, I still get schooled, right? And like, if I'm
not afraid of it, right? There's a lot of people that, that don't know how to handle constructive criticism or think they're better than it, when just like this is, I think, this is the perspective that clearly has worked out for you, that I think a lot of people could probably apply to their extremely shitty lives if they're listening to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? You know,
it's like Narragansett says, man, made on honor, sold on merit.
Made with honor, sold on merit. Yeah.
Made on honor, sold on merit.
If you're going to take advice from a podcast or a beer can,
the same, by the way,
it's probably not in the cards. It's probably not in the cards for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If your life motto is a slogan that you read on an alcoholic beverage, yeah. Welcome to the program. We're happy to have you,
Aaron. That is honestly good advice. I know that the kids listening at home, like, they're going to take that and tuck in their cap or whatever the fuck the kids are saying now.
Put it in your pipe and smoke it.
Because clearly you are a successful designer, and you've run the full gamut, and like you've only started. Which brings us to our second topic, of the podcast, which is money.
Yes.
We're normally pretty classy podcast.
Above board.
Yeah, we try to keep it, elegant.
Don't be weird about it.
Yeah, elegant, I believe, is the word most people use to describe this podcast. So we only ask, very big questions, very kind of questions of the abstract, philosophical, brain ticklers.
Classy shit.
Yeah, real classy shit. He says from the bathroom floor.
I'm actually sitting on the toilet. I have a
nice.
seat right now.
That's cool. How many shits have you taken since we started? No,
I'm sitting sideways, so one, but it's like
sitting sideways. That's some good rap. Look. Here's
sideways.
Here's a rap recommendation. Just look up Swisher House, bro.
Yeah,
shitting sideways.
Yeah.
Boys in the days.
But no, Aaron. Seriously, all jokes aside, how much money do you make?
Yeah.
That's not going to be discussed here.
Okay. Well, HR's listening. They'll let us know.
How much money would you like to make?
Yeah.
We're good. I'm good. We're good. We're comfortable. Like,
that's because you've told your daughters they're going to grow up to pump gas, just like their old man.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
that's
okay.
Right.
What do you? Well, obviously, besides vintage Johns, when it comes, let's say it's payday,
Who
right?
has answered that question? Who has straight up answered that question?
Neve
Schulman, and
what was the number? What was the number he gave you?
Oh, he was like, I made $500,000 last year.
That was on some asshole shit. He wasn't like
regarded as the worst guest that has ever been on the program. So,
and then one person gave us his answer. It was more his rate, because he's like, look, I want people to know that if they're doing what I'm doing, I make good money doing this, or like fair money. And so here's my rate.
So don't undervalue yourself.
So don't let people fuck you over. Like this is like what a standard rate should be for us.
Also,
your ideas are valuable, and like if you're working freelance, and like it's not free. Freelance ain't free. Like if we're working with brands.
And the transparency that this question has enabled in terms of salary for us to have this on the program has been good. But I also think Rob McMillan, are you familiar with Mildred, the barbershop, Aaron, when you've come to New York? Have you heard about that?
I'm not. Okay. Go ahead.
So our boy Rob McMillan.
If you don't have a spot in New York, that's if you ever do. If you don't have no loyalty.
A spot in New York anymore. I don't have a spot in New York anymore.
Mildred
sold on Mildred.
Yeah, cut on merit, sold on whatever.
But
Rob
haircuts
is widely regarded as the best barbershop or the best barber in New York.
Also an art form. Also a fucking art form.
Absolutely. And I think Rob, to the whole point, not just to gas up Rob, who we love, who's also in the ALD lookbook, the beautiful man in the what do we call wife beaters now? One of those
undershirt.
Tank top.
Under tank top.
That with the beautiful hair and the extremely beautiful.
From Ohio.
I thought the lookbook was fire. The lookbook was fire.
He's from Ohio.
He's amazing.
He's an Ohio's man.
Yeah, you got to link up with Rob and Mildred, but I think Rob was very honest about, because he's a small business owner, and he was pretty. So it was in terms of like the other end of the spectrum from Neve Schulman, just like flexing his nuts on Barstool. That was cool. This Rob kind of did it in a way that was, I think he was like honest and brave.
Well, he's like, this is what I reported as income, and it was very low because I put all my money into my business, which is only like 2 or 3 years old at this point.
So like when I got to New York, I made $28,000 a year.
Damn.
This was in 1980. What?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Who is mayor?
Ben Koch.
Yeah.
No. Okay. But okay. Let's say it's payday, right? It's payday at the Abercrombie factory. You've wrapped up fall, winter. What are you spending your money on besides your kids, besides to feed and clothe your family and make sure they survive and blah,
Dude,
blah, blah.
I'm an eBay. I am an eBay. I'm bad news bears. I am bad news bears on eBay, man. Like like last year I was obsessed with like finding like old Savile Row tailored stuff, that people spent like a ton of money on and then were like too shy to wear. And then I would buy it and it'd be like brand new and I'd buy it for like 300 bones. Like I remember I bought like this blue cashmere top coat, 100% cashmere top coat made on Savile Row for $300. It fit me like a glove and no one ever wore it because they spent $8,000 on it. And they're like, I'm not going to wear this for special occasions, but that's not what it's made for. It's made to be worn and to be like beaten up and like broken in. And like, that's what I like about stuff. Like I'm really hard on the stuff that I wear and like buy. So I like nice things that wear hard, and like beat them up and like really like use them, like I don't like to like, just, that's such bullshit. It's also not true because like I also buy stuff just to like collect it because I'm the worst. Like I'll just like have stuff, man, and it's like I'm a have stuffer.
It's like the OG sneakerhead Russ Bengston says it's his, or an OG sneakerhead adage is like wear your sneakers, like wear your jaunts,
wear your kicks.
So I am I am never post sneaker world. Like I'm always a sneakerhead, always. But I also like Benchmade footwear. So like I just balance out the stable, right? Like I like the whole gambit.
You contain multitudes, bro. You're an onion. There's layers, and that's what we preach on. That's what we preach on the show. And we're gonna get into sneakers in, I believe, hour 4. We'll cover the post sneaker world and all that. But we want people
to shut up and stop rambling if I'm rambling.
No. This is fucking bars, dude. This is great. These are gems. I feel like I'm walking around in Abercrombie right now, just picking gems off of the fucking racks, dude. #ad. Run my fucking check. No, I mean that's it. That's what's cool about people that like a lot of things, not just only collecting sneakers, but also Benchmade fucking footwear and cashmere top coats. You can do all these things.
Rock tees, Savile Row.
Exactly.
It's the whole mix, right? It's the mix, right?
It's the like POV. It's the unique POV where you find things that you love and it's how you wear them specifically.
Totally. And that's what it's all about, is like being true to yourself. That's why I have a hard time with the hype culture, right?
Sure.
Like that's why I struggle with that a little bit because I'm like,
you're a statistic at that point, you
look like a clown. You look like a clown. You don't look like yourself. Like the most important thing to me, like, is like when I meet people and like, I have like super high anxiety and I'm like, I'm not really good around like a bunch of people and stuff. And I'm just like, I like just hanging out with like genuinely good people, like honest people, nice people, and like who are into what they're into, not into something because it's like a trend or a fad
or someone like told them they should or something,
or because by like, wearing it they are exuding how much it costs because
status, right? That's so boring. That's the worst version of yourself.
There's like some sort of weird fake flex about it, and I'm like, but you look like a Martian. You don't look like a human being. You don't look.
I am
like,
not a human.
Yeah.
you're just like you're falling into the hands of like.
Yeah, another cool rapper to check out is Lil Wayne. I don't know if you ever heard of Lil Wayne.
Little Wayne, little.
Oh, he's writing that. Okay, Little Wayne. But yeah, I mean that's the hype.
Ironically,
culture.
Lil Wayne never writes anything down.
Yeah.
Ironically, he does not.
Yeah.
Right?
Hype culture is trash. I mean, it's. I think that's the thing that kids don't get is that like, and again, it's different for a younger person because of, everyone.
You want me to tell people what they want to like,
right? And not even
are free to like whatever they want to like,
and not even that. But it's so much easier to find yourself as a grown ass man doing a podcast with 3 other grown ass men than being 14 years old and you're like, I want to die every single day. So like maybe this is one thing I don't need to worry about. I just look like everyone else. And that's kind of like what Abercrombie was for certain people at a certain point too, to bring it all back.
You know what? Like I remember distinctly, dude. Right? Like when I was in 7th, 8th, 9th grade or whatever, there was this surf shop, right? Like called Sunshine House. And everyone had this like mock neck Quicksilver Jam. That was the shit. It was like a long sleeve black mock neck. It just had like a logo like sick. On the mock neck.
Very sick.
And I was like, this is sick, dude. And everyone had it. And like, I wanted to fit in. So I bought it, you know, and I bought like these old Quicksilver jams or like the Billabong, like from when I was a kid, like it was like Stussy, Quicksilver, Pal Peralta gear.
All surfing. You know, it was like surfing. Surfing was very cool.
Skate.
Yeah.
Surf and skate. And
Cali
like,
style, not gritty New York style.
No, I mean, it was just like, you know, like I had pictures of all these on my wall. Not that like I could ever have the skills that they had, but like I admired what they stood for. And like, I wanted to like emulate that. So like, that's what I wore. And like, that was the trend then. So like, I also wanted to fit in, man, you know, like, and I had acne and shit and didn't want to like stand out. All I wanted to do was just like make it through the fucking day, you know? And like
acne on your face.
You had pimples or you had like Swedish acne Johns?
Acne or
there was no
pimples.
acne back then.
There was
no
acne.
It was like acne. It was like
right.
Acne,
sure.
You know?
Okay. Good to know.
So like, being like
being a teen is hard, man.
In.
Yeah. Being a teen is hard. It takes a lot of bravery to put yourself out there. It's just weird formative years, which is the perfect transition into the third and final topic.
Yeah, that's
of the only podcast that matters. Which is like.
By the way, hold on. I want to hit pause real quick.
Sure.
I love you guys. Like I love talking about this stuff. Like thank you for like. Like part of me is like embarrassed that this is like other people will actually hear this because like I just was stoked to talk to you guys about like the love. Right. And like
the energy emanates into people's eyes on the sides of the face. Like they're going to feel this positivity and love. And
you're doing,
Chuck calls it peace and love, pal. He just,
dude,
and would just shout pal.
It's all about the stoke. And like when I moved to New York, right? Like growing up in Virginia, like it wasn't like a thing, you know, like people weren't like amped about it like I was, right? You know, like I was amped to it to like a different level. And I'm not saying that like from a cool perspective, I'm saying that like from a nerd perspective, like I cared about stuff in a way that other people didn't care about, you know, and that actually made me like super self-conscious and like I was insecure about that, but like it ended up like parlaying into a career.
It's your superpower. That's the thing. It's like it's actually your superpower, right? You just had to like
all that stuff.
Discover it. Yeah.
Dude, Larry, all that stuff that you think is your weakness is your superpower.
Sure.
Like harness that insecurity and like own it. And like be a weirdo and like
start a podcast. Person. Literally start a podcast.
Dude, be your own person and like create your own niche. And like that's what you have to offer. Like if you're offering everything else that someone else has to offer, what's unique about that? Like have the courage to be unique and to be different and to have a point of view and to like care about stuff in a way that other people don't care about it. And you might see your balls busted at a young age, but when you know, like when you make it through those tough years and like you're committing to something and you commit to it, own it, dude, and own it out. And if the people that you are working with or the people that you're surrounding yourself with do not support it, then find other people.
Eventually, you will get laid. We promise. It will happen eventually.
That's what separates the Johns enthusiast from the hypebeasts.
That's everything there. That's a chasm, bro. That is a chasm.
That's the wheat from the chaff. Speaking of spreading,
I cut you off, James. I apologize, man.
Speaking of spreading, no worries. I'm the transition god. Speaking of spreading it out, let's get to meats and cheeks.
Yeah, baby.
I don't like your hand gesture there. I didn't like that at all.
Aaron, do you know what? Do you know what a Proustian rush is? It's a memory. It's a memory triggered by a scent. So, or like a memory triggered by a sense. So, you know the scene in Ratatouille.
Proustian rush.
Proustian rush.
100%.
In Ratatouille, when he eats and he goes flashes back to his childhood. That's a Proustian rush. So, you know, scent I think is the most powerful one, right? So if you smell something, it brings you back to like Virginia
100%.
Or whatever, Rochester. So my question is, if I were to, as the resident single man right now on the pod,
you are,
currently, if I were to start wearing Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce cologne for the women my age, right? Would I give them flashbacks to their horniest years and would I be able to immediately seduce them?
Ladies and gentlemen, Horny Jimmy is back at it again. I regret to inform you that Jimmy is horny and he is scheming
Hide your kids. Hide your
Look,
wife.
Jimmy, I'm just saying, play the odds, buddy. Right? Like, if you got to do that, if you can play that round, then play, like, let's experiment. Let's just get a whole bunch of stuff in there and then experiment with it.
Why stop at Fierce? What about Jake from Hollister? My preferred scent, you know?
Oh, wow. What about Cool Water? You know, we can go to, like, Cool Water.
Yeah.
We can go
Polo Blue.
Some dude on Manhattan Ave actually tried to sell me some Polo Blue out of a bag.
And the best is that was actually the cheapest kerosene you're going to find on the market right now. So you might want to.
Yeah, it's natural gas.
For Abercrombie, for me, it was woods, dude. Like, because I'm an old fart. So, like, I like the woods, you know, like, that was mine, you know? And then, like, when I was a kid, I remember, like, bathing in, like, Dakar Noir, dude, from, like, my local drugstore.
Are you CK1? CK1 was probably big for, you're Gen Xer, right?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I'm old, so maybe, yeah.
Are you a Senseman? Are you currently a Senseman?
I am a Centurion.
What do you wear? What's your signature scent? Or like, what are they? If there's multiple ones, yeah.
I wear two.
Okay.
I wear two.
Sure.
I've worn one for 15 years. and it is Santa Maria Novella Patchouli. Like, that's what I wear.
Classic.
Like, all the time. I think, like, Santa Maria Novella is, like, reasonably priced. It's high quality stuff. It smells amazing. Like, I smell like a hippie. It's fine. I'm cool with it, right?
You smell like an Italian hippie, bro. Listen. Extra stank. You know what I'm saying?
Extra natural.
Yeah, dude. My man is ripe as fuck, bro. What's the second one? What's the second one?
Like, what's the Officine Bully? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, Bully. It was out of Paris. I bought it at this little store in Paris. They opened up shop-in-shops in, like, Dover Street Market now, and, like, I think they opened up a store in Japan or something, or Tokyo. But, like, they do this, like an orange blossom scent that's like, ooh.
Damn, that sounds tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they seasonal? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah. What's the deal?
Like, you know, so when I go to when I'm at home, only at home, I wear the orange blossom. It just, like, boom, centers me, because it's like, scent is powerful, right? And then like, even though I love the scent of, like, the patchouli, like, it also reminds me of, like, tough times at other jobs or, like, other situations or other times of my life. So it's like, I'm like loyal to it, but at the same time, it carries a lot of baggage.
Huh? Good. Like you, loyal, but with a ton of baggage. You know what I'm saying? For real. If I had to describe you in two ways, that's more or less it. Pretty bullseye.
All right, Aaron. Typically, this is where we bring in both Chuck and Chef, but sadly, Chef cannot be with us. He's working on a big old campaign. He's working on the Kodak carousel.
Yeah.
But in this segment, 30 Seconds of Thirst, we're going to allow Chuck to unmute himself. And he's going to weigh in and ask you anything, pitch you on something. The floor is his, complete carte blanche, Chuck.
For 30 seconds.
To do, baby.
Aaron, I heard you love sneakers. I also love sneakers. I think you have great style. I saw a picture of you in the 2019 Sacai Nikes. I was wondering what sneakers that have come out this year that you're fucking with.
Oh, dude.
Chuck, that we're going to literally be have a whole section.
Let me delete the whole sneakers portion of Fuck With Not Fuck With real quick.
Yeah, Chuck, honestly, you know what, Chuck? It's your fucking podcast, right? So why don't you just ask the questions that we only ask every single week, because it's your show, bro.
We got usurped by a Gromrad. This is the fucking revolution in 1917.
Any question,
dude? Is this when all the gamers say they're going to rise up? Is this what's happening right now? Are you? Is this?
It's just mutiny on the bounty right now. The fucking throwing fits bounty.
Yo, it's August 27th on TikTok. Everyone on TikTok was saying that August 27th was a big day, but they wouldn't say why. I think this is why. This is Chuck rising up.
What they were talking about. Jesus Christ, dude. Damn. You never expect the call to come from inside the house, but here we are. So.
It be your own.
Yeah, it be your own, man.
Look, so I'm a simple dude, right? Like, so I had a plug, hooked me up with those Sakai. Shout out Tung Vo over at Haven. I don't know if you guys know Haven Shop.
Yeah, of course. Great shop.
But I knew.
The one time I went there, they were fucking dickheads to me, or whoever was working the store. So honestly, like right now, fuck you, Haven. Apologize. I want an edible arrangement, bitch.
Wait, Lawrence, who went into the store?
I did.
Okay, understandable.
Oh, they were kids. Yeah, versus like other great shops that I've been to in Toronto when I was there that were spectacular, but honestly didn't have a great experience at Haven. But listen, Aaron, I'm happy to hear that those are your people. Hey, so you know.
Well, so I knew Tung from when he worked with Craig at Reigning Champ, and like Tung is a mega designer, dude. Like he has crazy skills, man. Like he would make these cut up scraps and make these like crazy bombers for his kids, like I mean, just like sick stuff. He's got more talent in his little finger than I do in my whole body. He's the man. And he plugged me with those and like respect the tone. But like, I'm a straight up tinkerhead, dude. Like for me, sneakers are nostalgia. And like, I am, dude, I'm a Moab guy, right? So it ain't this year, Chucky. Like it ain't happening for me like this year. Like I like specific things, and when they hit my button, then I buy multiples. So
when they pump your butt, we're fucking we're cooking with gas. We're cooking with Polo Blue straight from Canal Street. You know what I'm saying?
What shoes do you have multiples of?
The Moab. I have multiples of
like CDG, like CDGs or ACG.
No, fuck that, dude. Like the old ACG Moab. Like when they released
the CDG the CDG Moab is awesome. By the way,
look, I'm not. Look, we're not starting a fight. You asked me a question. I'm answering the question.
Sorry.
I didn't
like
realize
James said, I want to answer.
You were asking me a question to hear you answer your own question.
that's how
I didn't realize that's how.
Hey, welcome to Earth, bro.
Yeah, I hate it here. I hate it here.
Okay, so you got multiple ACG Moabs, and before I rudely interrupted you, what else?
Look, I'm a New Balance 990, the original V1 guy. I like that.
V1.
But I also like the Nike AirTech Challenge 2, the Agassi.
Hot lava.
I'm hot lava. I mess with that hard. Like I'm a chlorophyll Air Trainer 1 guy.
Ooh.
The Johnny Mac. Like that to me is like hits my button, like the Medicine Ball, Bo Jackson, like the Air Trainer 3 SC, like that to me is my shit. Like I love those, that era. I wear the Jordan 6 all black. I wear the Jordan 5 black. I wear, actually I fuck with like, the Satisfy Running Solomon. I love that shoe. The all black fire. Solomon.
Yeah, those were sick.
Those were sick. And like they work, like they work. They like you can work out in them and like, I have like a royal blue pair of Air Jordan, like the Jordan 1s. Like I love those. Like, dude, like if I were to open up my situation, dude, I think the New Balances that like Teddy made were fire.
Right.
The first ones that he made that were like mismatched friends and family.
Those were really good.
With like the 3 racquetballs. I'm like, damn, those are the bomb. Like, and I wear, that's the kind of stuff that I like. It's like stuff that has like personal.
Yeah.
I have a personal connection with. It's not about like the new for me. It's like about like
sentimentality.
Sure.
It's integrity, dude.
Yeah,
it's integrity, personal integrity.
I like that. That's an ingredient we are always constantly running low on here on this podcast.
But from like 88 to like 93, Nike for me is like
sweet spot.
The shit. And I, like the Air Max 97 for me is like, it was also one that I remember the first picture I took in those in 97 when like it was at night. I was hanging out with my boys outside and someone took a picture with a flash and my 3M? Shit lit up.
Damn.
Lit up.
That's sick.
And no one even knew because I took it with like a disposable Kodak camera. Right. I didn't even know until we saw that picture. It was like
a month later.
It's like, Aaron, you ruined the photo with your fucking futuristic
sneakers. Right. Jesus Christ. That's awesome. The silver bullets, bro. That's the intended purpose of the silver bullet is to flex on your. It's a delayed flex.
Yeah.
That's what people see. It's all about instant gratification now, but the kids don't know about that delayed fit pick that you got a month later. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you kind of like launch it. It's like a torpedo. You don't even know it's coming, and then it's just like this.
You'll never even hear it coming.
You don't even know.
Sure.
All right, Aaron, you are clearly just a taste god. Obviously, just like an incredible dude. I wish we were all just in the Kingsley bathroom drinking wine and Negronis. The kids want to know. They love recommendations. Before we were usurped by our fucking Gromrad, right? We typically close out the show with a segment we call "Fuck With Not Fuck With."
It's a working title.
Yeah. Still working on the title. We want to know what you're fucking with, what you're not fucking with. Obviously, we know what sneakers you're fucking with because, again,
Chuck asked
stab us in the back,
apparently.
In the foot. Yeah. He stabbed us in the feet.
Your sneakers or your life?
What are some that Sports Illustrated cover? Like I remember getting that with
the Jordans. The Jordan
5s.
The 5s are on it.
Like I had I remember getting that in the with the 38 special or whatever. The sneakers that you like.
I was still on SI for kids at that point. Shout out to Buzz.
I understand.
Buzz, whatever in the back.
Yeah, Reader's Digest on the toilet, reading the joke section. It's fine. Yeah.
Sure.
What brands are you currently fucking with? Besides Abercrombie.
Yeah, you shout out a lot of homies, right? You said add some. We've said 18 East, but like, yeah, people that you want to, you basically
put people on to what you're currently really into.
What are you fucking?
Like genuinely, honestly, like I do fuck with add some. I do fuck with ALD and Teddy's stuff. I think his point of view is great. I think I fuck with. I fuck with Carhartt hard. I fuck with
Work in Progress or mainline Carhartt.
No, mainline, dude, mainline.
Corn-fed Midwestern $6 Carhartt.
Old, yeah, dude, an old polo, like old polo. I like a lot. The more, again, like I'm an older guy, right? So like, I'll fuck with a Loro Piana horsey coat. I'll fuck with like random, like I'll find like the brands that, like whenever I think about spending money, right? I think about me, like when I first moved to New York and like, that's my budget, right? So like, if I'm like, okay, I want to fuck with like some crazy, amazing top coat, right? Like I sweat like beautifully made top coats, right? So I'll go onto eBay and like Google Corneliani Polo Ralph Lauren from like whenever. And, like I've hit some L's on that. And then like I've hit some major W's on that. And it's like they're just made so well. And like I fuck with like true tailored like outerwear. Like that to me is like the bomb. And like I'll mess with this like old random shit, dude. Like I am an eBay like hound. That's what I mess with. That's like, and I try to find it for cheap as chips, dude, because like I like the fact that like these beautiful things were made that people like really cared about, and then people spent so much money on them and then just jettisoned them and like, and I'm like this. So like I remember like when I was at Hickey Freeman, right? I remember going to like the Loro Piana mill when it was in Massachusetts still. They were still making like baby camel hair, cashmere fabric in Massachusetts. And like when I see stuff made out of like those kind of goods, that to me like rings my bell, That's and then I like buying like a bunch of like really like, frankly, value proposition stuff, man. I'm like, I like buying stuff that doesn't feel like I'm being robbed or taken for, and like combining that, like I'll wear Carhartt overalls that I find on eBay for $38 with a cashmere top coat that might have been so expensive, but I bought for nothing, and like a Dead t-shirt, and
good
like that to me is like the bomb,
high-low hero,
the high-low dude. And then like with like a pair of Belgians or something. And like that to me is like as good as it gets. And I'm comfortable on that. Like I feel confident.
Because you're yourself. Because you're being yourself, right? Which is 100%. The whole thesis of the 8 hours that we've spent kind of hammering that home, justifiably so.
The thesis is be yourself. Don't be a chump. Don't get played. Like
no yourself. Bozo behavior.
No bozo behavior. Don't be a bozo, dude. Just like be you, and like be, like, and however unique or mundane that is, just be you, man. And like, like you can tell when people are like wearing shit that they don't feel comfortable in, like they walk a certain way. They're just like, I'm like, you're a gamer, dude. Like you're just like, you're not real.
You can see it. What I'm saying? You can tell, man. You're either dead in the eyes or you got that fucking glint, man. We are in a battle for this nation's soul. And this also applies to what is happening in the Jaws enthusiast community as well.
Here's the thing, right? Like there's not a day that goes by that I'm just like, what I do is ridiculous and superficial, right, and it like means nothing. Right. And then there's also like, well, wait a minute. Like I'll talk to people and I'll like tell them that. And then they're like, well, people wear clothes, man. You got to wear clothes. Yeah. And like, that's a form of expression, right? Like you look at like Andy Warhol and how he created art, and he created art in like a mass spectrum. He just created tons of shit. And he sold it. And it wasn't
the speed helped.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. They had drugs for that,
Hey, like we're not here to talk about, we can talk about it, we can not talk about it, whatever, sure. But like, I'm just like, that to me is like,
that's the mentality.
Be you.
That's the mentality.
Be you, like be into what you're into, and then like fucking flex it proudly and like just be you. And then you will emanate greatness, man. Like you'll just be like, you will have that thing in a room where it's like, you don't have to be loud. you don't have to say the most cool things.
Well, I'm fucked.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Literally looking you dead ass in the eye. But like, I'm kidding, dude. Like, because I fucking love you and respect you, and
I get it.
it's all about like being you and like unapologetically you. And sometimes that takes you being 20 years old or 25 years old or 30 years old or 40 years old. Like people never find it sometimes, they're always chasing it. But I think that like that also equates to like your happiness and like your confidence in yourself. And like, if you can project that and like you roll up and like you are not looking like everyone else, but like you look like you and you don't look like a clown, and it's like you feel good and you're just like, that to me is like important. Like that's important. And I don't care what line of business you're in. Like if I meet with people that are like, anywhere from like someone who I'm buying a car from to like, someone who I'm like, I don't know, like
from cars to Carhartt, right? That's what they're spanning the whole
cars
spectrum.
to Carhartt, to your house, to what you sleep on.
That's your memoir. Like that's your memoir title, bro. But yeah,
it's all about like what makes you happy. Like
enable yourself.
When you touch it, when you feel it, when you put it on, does it work? Does it fit right? Like when you get into your car, do you get joy out of that? Do you get joy out of like the things that you surround yourself with? Or are you surrounding yourself with things hoping to get joy?
Right. So based on that
difference.
Yeah. So based on that, like, should we even ask you to put some motherfuckers on blast and say what brands you're not fucking with? Is that even is that a waste of time? Or
I don't fuck with so many things that it's not even like, it's not
worth it. That'll be a whole nother episode.
And also they don't even care, like, they don't care, and they shouldn't care, because like what I don't fuck with doesn't matter to the person who does fuck with it and feels good in it. So like, who cares what I don't fuck with?
Let's get on to, we were going to talk about sneakers, but Chuck obviously fucking had to steal the show.
Right.
Talk about bozo behavior.
Talk about being the center of fucking attention for all the wrong reasons. Typical Chuck.
I'm just kidding, Chuck. We love you. You're God's perfect angel. That was printed in NewYorker.com.
Straight up.
Yeah. A bunch of pixels said that. You mentioned Belgians.
Yeah.
What non-sneaker footwear are you fucking with?
Yeah. What's the rotation?
The youth.
Dude, I fuck with a lot.
You're a shoesman. You love shoes, proper shoes.
I do.
What's in the rotation right now?
Yeah. What's the rotation right now? Because we don't have another. we do have unlimited time, but
Well, all right. So I like
Chuck's past. It's past Chuck's bedtime. So
All right. I like a JM Weston 180 mock. Right.
Okay. Specific. I like this.
Specific.
Take notes, kids.
I like Brooks Brothers made an unlined Cordovan.
Oh, an Alden, the Alden, right? Yeah.
Online, but you can't buy them anymore.
Sure.
Like they stopped making them, but like they were unlined, so they were like slippers, right? So like I do still fuck with like an Alden loafer. I like that a lot. Back in the day when I was at Rogues, I made like a tank boot out of Cordovan on a Vibram lug sole, which is awesome. I don't fuck with that right now, but like it was cool back in the day. But like I'll wear. Dude, these bunnies are bomb. And then my RM Williams Gardeners in black, all black, right. black. Like I like boot. Comfort, but I also like looking, like, okay, you can walk into a meeting and like feel put together with something like that. And so I like that. I like a Crockett and Jones boot. I like
a boot you can wear with a suit. That's like the best boot is a boot you can wear with a suit. That's really, at least for my money. Yeah.
Booted and zooted.
Yeah. Right.
And like, I remember like back in the day, dude, back in the day, like I remember like trying to find, okay, so like Keanu, I fuck with Keanu, right? Like since back in the day, I'm like, that dude has amazing style. He's an amazing point of view. He's an amazing outlook on life. Like if I were to collaborate with somebody, I want to collaborate with Keanu Reeves.
Make an Abercrombie motorcycle.
Yeah.
I want to like collaborate with Keanu Reeves on life, dude, because I think like he's smart.
So you want to hang out with him? You want to marry him?
I want to marry Keanu, dude. I know he's got a long-term partner now, and I'm kind of bummed about it, but like whatever, But like I remember like seeing shots of him in like suits and like these fucked up boots. Like he would wear like these suits, looks like dialed, and then would wear like these like beat to hell like hiking boots or like work boots. So like I like that a lot. Like I like not having to worry about like stepping in a puddle or like stepping in mud or like wearing the same shit like day in, day out, and like not babying anything, whether it's a suit, whether it's a pair of boots, whether it's a pair of shoes. Like I don't like babying or taking care of like anything. I like whatever I have, I wear it and I wear it out and I wear it to like the teeth. And like, I think that that's also like what makes things look cool on people, right? Like if you buy like a nice suit and you wear it to the point where it like molds itself to you with like a pair of fucked up boots and like, you know, like a cool t-shirt or whatever you feel comfortable in, like doesn't even matter, you know, but like,
but wear your shit. Like, wear the shit.
Wear your shit.
Because the character it's going to develop is like, that's what it you can't buy that, right? Like, I guess you kind of can with certain vintage stuff, but it will never feel like your own, like it will be if you wear a suit for truly your entire life.
Totally. And, you know, like when I buy vintage online, like I'll take L's on some stuff, but then like I might take 4 L's to find the one that's like, dialed.
It makes it worth it. Do you have a, you know, we're fuck Mount Rushmore over here. But do you have a Mount Rushmore of non-sneaker footwear, just top 4 of all time, unranked, just greatest 4?
Damn.
Non-sneaker footwear. I think the RM Williams Gardner, black on black, must have, right? So there's your Chelsea boot.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Then I like this Blundstone I'm wearing right now, the 990, because
they're that good.
Like,
you're going to put them top 4 dead or alive all time?
Dude, I'm just saying, no. Like, that's like, what's your favorite song? And then you change that shit. Like,
sure. So right now,
Prince Purple Rain.
Like this, and it's like, who knows?
It's Prince Purple Rain.
Who knows?
And Neil Young,
like my top
Into
4,
the Black.
like all time, right now, today, in this minute.
Okay,
you know?
all right. So that's 2.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So 2.
And then I'm like, oh, I can't do this. This is the toughest question ever.
Belgians? It's got to be Belgians.
But then also like a Boston, like that's what I fuck with at home is like Boston. Like, so I got
Aaron, did you know?
I wear like the suede Boston. And then I also wear the black suede Boston with the black shearling lining.
Oh,
as like my
real
house
toasty.
shoe.
Right.
Did you know in Germany, they wear Bostons as house shoes?
Yeah.
Dude, if I have to hear this one more time,
it's required.
I'm going to lose
it's
my
now
mind.
contractually required that I say that every episode.
My God.
Jimmy learned a new fact today that he's going to share with the class.
It's like fucking 3-week-old bread at this point.
Oh, damn. Yo, Jim, find a new slant, dude. You're fucking washed, bro.
Next time we got to get a guest that hasn't listened to the episode.
Yeah, right. Who did no research.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. Like, look, I was on a ride. I'm just saying.
We love it. We love the commitment to excellence. You're a gamer, bro.
Aaron,
we talked about this.
The last thing we're going to do with you before we kind of roast you for, I don't know, a few seconds and kick you out of here.
Yeah.
We want to know, what was the last John you copped and what's the next John you got your eyes on and last John, next John. So first up, what was the last John you copped at full retail? Because I know you're plugged up. I know you're on various flow teams. What did you pay full retail for?
Oh, man. Dude. Okay, so I have an answer, actually, because I did. You know who I buy full retail from is Margaret Howell.
Oh, wow.
That's who I buy from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
What I buy from her is like, okay, so I'll buy, you know how she has like Margaret Howell and then she has like MHL?
Yeah.
You know? So I'll buy like, what do you got there, Larry? What is this?
It's weed. I've been smoking weed.
I know, but like, what's our choice of the evening? Here?
Oh, this is just a hybrid. I forget the flavor. It's a Magnum, so I've been smoking it for like a month. But yeah, I
love it.
Just a little. Yo, listen, I'm mixing, bro. That's all. Don't worry about me.
I'm not worried about you. I am interested. I'm showing interest.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was a bit rude. My apologies. I'm super fucking high right now.
Which I love.
Right.
By the way,
the higher the bandana gets. The higher the bandana gets, the higher Lawrence is.
Yeah, that's how you can tell.
Like I like her sweaters, right? Like I love her sweaters. I love and then I love
that's what she's known for, the sweaters.
Dude, and the Margaret Howell, not the MHL, the Margaret Howell, like a cashmere sweater or like her wool cashmere sweaters. I just think look great, man. And then they fit amazing. And then like they get all beat up and like fucked up and like they look even better. And like, so I love those. And then I'll buy like her MHL pants, like big, you know, and then like those to me, like she uses great fabrics. They fit me well. So like, I like that a lot. So shout out to Margaret Howell, man.
And what's the next John you got your eye on?
I don't, dude. I don't know that yet. Like, I'm an outerwear like freak, dude. I just love outerwear. I just collect it, and so full price for me doesn't have to mean like from a brand at retail. Like it for me, it means like finding like something specific. Like you guys know that site Saunders Militaria or whatever it is. He's like an Instagram account. And he sells like amazing vintage stuff. And like, so I'll find something like an amazing old military outerwear piece on there, or I'll find like a military outerwear piece on eBay or from Dougie Gunn over at Vintage Showroom, or like Dougie Gunn. Like I bought some stuff from like Brian over at what's the stuff over in Red Hook when he had that shop in Red Hook. Wooden Sleepers. Like I bought some like eyes from him. So for me, it's like I find shit that I'll spend money on that like.
Shout out Brian Davis and Wooden Sleepers one time, friend of the show.
Yeah, dude, he's the bomb. Like I like his stuff a lot. He's got a great taste level, and like I'll buy from him. I bought some earrings from Scotia Woolridge. Scotia. She has a little like jewelry shop in Brooklyn. Like I love her stuff, and I bought a watch.
You're just a consumer of things that you love.
Yeah.
Like product, dude. Like well-made stuff. Product, dude. Like well-made cars, well-made watches, well-made gear. Like I just love it all, dude,
Yeah. I mean, Aaron, you clearly know what you're doing. Like you've made a fucking career out of this, out of just like embracing your weirdo-ness.
Yeah.
That being said, so Lawrence and I we love you, man. Like we want
you to get something out of this appearance, though.
We love what you're doing. We love you as professionally. We love what you're doing. Personally, we love you as a dude. However, we want to see we want our friends to fucking thrive. I guess that's really what it is, right? Yeah. Pow up. You're going to need it for this constructive criticism.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm bracing for impact. I'm on the shitter right now.
Yeah, you're sitting in the right chair. Let's just say that. First piece of constructive criticism. Look, man, legends never die, right? So become a fucking legend. Use the platform, like your homie, whatever his name was, said. Become a hero. We talked about collaboration and like doing good. Design the new U.S. Postal Service uniforms and merch.
Yeah, help them make a buck, bro. Those motherfuckers need it, dude. These are the true heroes and warriors.
Front line. Yeah. How do you think we get our jobs? How do you think we get our jobs?
Sleet or snow. Come on, or whatever the fuck.
Love to.
Yeah.
Big ups. USPS.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's go in November, baby. Let's go in November.
Yo, he's the Sultan of the swing state.
Yeah, it's true.
Whoever is in this, listening to this shit, vote.
Please.
Vote.
Please.
Vote.
You can register to vote via the link tree link in the Throwing Fits Instagram bio. Just register to vote.
You can print that shit out depending on what state you're in. Do the research. Vote. Because shit is not right now.
No. And speaking of printing things out, that's the perfect kind of parlay into my piece, or one of my two pieces of constructive criticism, which is speaking
By the
of.
way, James, you were gentle on that one. That was not constructive criticism. That was just like that was a layup. Look,
take it or leave it, right? Like
sure.
if you leave it, we know that you're not a patriot. That's all.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of tests that we are leaving up to you to pass. Here's another one. We talked about being young, being horny, all that good stuff. Dude, relaunch A&F Quarterly with me and James, dude. And I want that in print, and I want it immortalized and sold for $35. And I want teens to look at it and get so horny that it should be illegal.
Yeah, between us, we have two abs, so I don't know if that.
Yeah, right.
Those are two separate things. You asked for one thing, but then I also asked for people to be horny when they looked at you. So I can't do both.
You can't guarantee that.
You can do one.
Yeah.
You can do one. Also, but shout out to Chris Wallace.
Yeah,
I'm sure a friend of the pod.
Dude.
Absolutely.
Speaking of fucking 8-pack. Wait, Aaron, how many abs do you have? One?
Zero.
It's a keg.
We are thick these days, bro. Thick.
Nice. Yeah, Chris Wallace was fucking, speaking of smoking hot teens. God damn. What the fuck?
How many beers, fellas?
I think he was
I want to pump that butt
behind Tom Brady in that, in California at the time, right?
Sure. Yeah, crazy.
He's the man. Also, wicked fucking smart, great writer. Big ups, Chris Wallace.
That's family, baby.
Great
That's
style.
that's a 2-time. He's been on the show. Well, we can't. Well, obviously, Aaron, we're going to definitely get you into the 2-timers club, 3-timers club. Maybe I don't know. It's not fucking Make-A-Wish over here. It's not a fucking charity, but we're going to see what we could do. But yeah, shout out Chris Wallace, that beautiful genius.
Yeah, he's the homie. He's the homie. And speaking of homies, again, transition god over here. You have this very sweet, very like nice series on Instagram where friends of yours, they take a photo, take a fit pic, and then write out a very long caption on your account that kind of details a private, personal struggle that they just put out there. And, you know, maybe people can relate to it. Maybe it helps themselves. Maybe it helps others. It's just like a nice bright light in these very dark times. How do we monetize that? I'm thinking we turn into a newsletter or an episodic content series.
Yeah, paywall all that meaningful advice. Paywall, take it from us. Paywall the fuck out of that while you still can.
What are friends for if not to monetize, if not to leverage into more capital and money?
This show was built on monetized friendship. That's what the show represents, monetizing friendship. So,
dude, it was so funny when I started like doing that stuff. You know, like he would be like, "We should do this. We should do this. We should do this." And I was like, "Look, this is like one thing that in my life that I have actually control over." And it was like, it just me started, like, I just like started like spouting off about like fucking breakdowns that I had. And like, I think that that's important. And like, showcasing that as like a strength as opposed to like swallowing that kind of stuff. So like all the people that appeared on that, like I want to thank them. And like there were some great people, man. Estelle, like Juan Moss over at Outer Known, big ups, you know, like
Nick Wooster
Pesco, you know, like Pesco did it, Eugene
Pesco,
did it, you know, like
the homies.
The homies did it, you know,
and like it's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah, it is.
But that's what we were trying to do, is just like, hey, you know, it was just like reaching out to whoever was listening, like, hey, you know, like you're not alone, and like it's okay to be like overwhelmed, and it's okay to freak out. It's okay to like doubt yourself. It's okay to like all this shit. You know, it's all part of the whole program, man, and like living life and like growing up and like doing your thing. So
so let's make some money off of it.
Yeah, again, so can we get paid?
Let's get a Patreon going. Is that what it's called?
I mean, we'll take a cut for, you know, developing the concept.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. You develop it, you set it up, and we'll
and we want to be executive producers.
Yeah, no work, all glory.
Yeah, exactly, dude. We want fucking credits and money.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk offline.
And then I guess the final point here, because again, like seemingly James and I are the only ones concerned with making money around here. Now that we are extremely successful merchmen,
wealthy.
And we're 2 for 2, and like you said, we have a top, we have a bottom. Why not come in with us and cook us up the next piece using your professional expertise?
Yes,
you know, and we'll get paid. And maybe we'll break you off. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
designer fee.
I'm game. Awesome. I want nothing other than to like create with people that are like I love to create with. And like, let me tell you something. The main reason I wanted to do this was just to like spout off and just like be like hang out with like fellow enthusiasts and just like fellow lovers of the game, and just to like talk a little. You know, like I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate you like,
dude,
like taking the time to like talk, and like, because like I truly love this stuff, man. And like, you know, when I moved to New York, like, I don't know, like where we are in like boredom spectrum yet with the whole crew. If they're like fucking tuned out or whatever, they're probably out.
No, I think
like
I'm sure they're locked in, bro.
Chuck's
sure.
Well, Chuck's not watching NBA.
And also, just one point I would like to make, just real quick. I would like to cut Aaron off one final time before we get him out of here. When Aaron comes to New York and I have the opportunity to grab a bite with him, whether it's lunch or dinner, or grab a drink and rope in some other, you know, homies, the experience, and this is the last time that I'm going to suck your dick, okay? But it is so fun because you are your love for this shit is just so clear, and that exuberance, that's the word I was looking for, is so, it's intoxicating. And I think that, is this podcast boring? No, because this is what that experience is like, and I'm happy that we can share the extendo late night 6.5 hour version with all the 18 million at home listening. So yes, we love you too, Aaron. Thank you.
And like YouTube, right? Like okay, you know, you guys are already filthy rich off of it.
Sure,
game,
exactly. Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to do it anymore. You don't even have to do
The
it.
IRS is listening.
Yeah, this is a parody. If anyone from the government,
this is how long gone.
Yeah,
Like this is how much I actually want to like hang out with you guys and just like talk the filth with you. It's like I'm sitting in a toilet.
you want to play in the mud, baby.
In Kingston, New York.
It brings you back to that New Year's, that fateful New Year's Eve when you woke up in Penn Station, in the Penn Station bathroom.
Yeah, getting burned by an electrical blanket. While you have nightmares of your boss just demeaning you publicly.
I would have like dreams of like throwing him out the window, man. Like,
Defenestration.
23rd floor.
Yeah.
Like, say I just like push him out of this 23rd floor window, and like, what would happen? Is that like, would anyone blame me? Would a court in the land convict me of like doing that because they?
And
know
that's
him,
when you knew you needed therapy.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's our final lesson today, and that's called a statute of limitations. So,
Aaron, where can the kids follow you on socials?
yeah, what do you want to plug, dude? Where can we follow you at?
I think I'm. Hold on. I think I'm Aaron AARON PLEVINE. At
Aaron P. Levine.
Aaron P. Levine is my Insta, and that's it. That's all I got. I have got nothing else.
No TikTok.
I got no TikTok. I got no Facebook. I got nothing else. And like my shit is lame on there, and I just
No
post, like,
Facebook.
rambling shit.
No Facebook.
Yeah.
The first, do you remember talking on Facebook? We talked on like I hit you up, and I was like,
Do I remember?
Yeah, I wonder.
Do I remember?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. It made that much of an impact on you because you're like, this kid is the fucking future. But yeah,
damn, I need to delete Facebook.
But again, for everyone listening at home, hit your heroes up, ask for advice, be respectful. And you might be surprised at how accessible people are.
Yeah, 100%. Because like when I had the opportunity to talk to you back then, I was actually working at Hickey. I think maybe you were at Wake Forest. I don't know.
Yeah, I probably was just graduating college. Yeah,
you just beat up a freshman.
By the way, like I loved it. Like because you were like you were like
everyone hates me that I work with. So this is incredible. This sucks.
No, dude. Like,
I need to talk to young men online.
Kid, man.
Yeah,
like you guys are fucking wicked smart. Like you're super enthusiastic. Like you're super passionate. Like there's no secrets, man. You know, like there's no secrets to the game. It's just like be committed. Understand that you're not going to get, you're not going to get loaded right out of the game. You got to earn it, man. You got to like suck it up. You got to earn it.
10,000 hours. 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours. We're like
minimum.
Pilots.
That's the bare minimum.
We hit 10,000 hours of podcasting in 20 episodes. So.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like you guys have it, and I'm honored to be on your show, dude. And like I appreciate you letting me come on here,
of course,
and like sit on the toilet in like Kingston, New York, and like ramble.
Wagwan.
Yeah. No, Aaron, this was a long time coming. We appreciate you coming on and blessing us with all the knowledge, all the darts, all the jokes, all the cheeky fucking bants,
the gems, bro.
Aaron P. Levine, Abercrombie and Fitch, chef. Hit that motherfucking outro music, baby.
Get the outro. Get me out. Yeah.